at noon. The meal for this Friday, May 29th, will be baked fish, mashed potato, asparagus, and dessert. For those 60 and over, the suggested donation per meal is $5, and for those under 60, the cost per meal is $8.
On the menu at the West Barnett Senior Meal Site for Friday, May 29th. Bang Bang chicken on rice, cauliflower, salad, homemade roll, and fruit crisp. In-house dining starts at 11:30 a.m. Takeout orders are required by calling 603-638-4002.
BNU listens to WYKR.
You are so loud, Marshall.
If you've got something to share, sell, rent, or promote, there's no better way to reach your neighbors than through the Bridge Weekly Classifieds. We mail our paper to thousands of homes throughout northern Vermont and New Hampshire every week, and your listing lands right there with it. Whether you're looking to hire someone, offer a service, or let folks know about something important, our classifieds get read. Every issue is full color, packed with local content, and now backed by an improved website that makes it easy to view and submit your listings online. People trust the Bridge Weekly for good news and good deals, so why not make your business or message part of that? Head to thebridgeweekly.com today and click on Classifieds to start spreading the word.
Your business card belongs in our newspaper. The Bridge Weekly's business card directory gives your business weekly exposure for just $24 a week. Trusted by locals, seen by thousands. Get started today at thebridgeweekly.com. That's thebridgeweekly.com.
Good morning, 5 minutes after 6, and not a bad morning temperature-wise. In the low 60s is the expected high temperature for the listening area, but there is some rain in the forecast as we're preparing to check out the weather that's brought to you by Manchester Brick Materials. They have a couple of locations to better serve you. They're at 596 Cross Road in Waterford, and they are also on Route 5 in East Reigate. Give Darcy a call at 802-633-4122 and start lining up your projects.
Is part of your property too tough to mow? Or do you need a new driveway or must fix your old one? Ask Manchester Brick Materials for a quote today. Plus for topsoil, erosion stone, riprap, and stay mat. Plus crushed stone products from 3/4 inch plant mix up to 5 inches. Manchester Brick Materials will deliver or load it for you. 6:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. weekdays, 7 a.m. to 12 noon Saturdays, or by appointment. We will rock you with competitive pricing and estimates. Call 802-633-4122.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly cloudy, a rising chance of afternoon showers, thunder possible, valley highs in the mid to upper 60s, winds becoming west and gusting to 20 miles an hour. Rain likely tonight, possibly heavy at times, lows in the low to mid 40s. Morning showers likely Saturday, chance afternoon, mainly over high terrain, breezy, mid to upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Lawrence, thank you. There's the latest weather for the listening area. That includes the upper Connecticut River Valley, northeast Vermont, northwest New Hampshire. Right around 50 degrees, heading for the mid-60s, but there is some rain in the forecast today. 7 minutes after 6, that's the latest weather. It's brought to you by Manchester Brick Materials. They have 2 convenient locations. They're at 596 Cross Road, Waterford, Route 5 North in East Reigate. And 802-633-4122 is the number to call to start lining up your projects.
Patriots OTAs continue in Foxborough. Drake May at it in front of the microphone yesterday, still looking back at that lost possible championship.
I think you definitely take a peek at it, on the biggest stage and a big game that I had a lot of plays I wish I had back. I think, I definitely watched it. And, at such a young point in my career where, I can still learn so much, and definitely some parts that maybe throws that I maybe skip, or I don't want to watch that again, but there's definitely the game. I think you learn so much from just, mistakes that you make yourself.
May won't have to wait very long to rebound from recent Super Bowl talk. The Patriots' first regular season game is in Seattle.
Get some extra motivation during training camp. But starting off with a bang, like that, a chance to get an opponent that, left a bad taste in our mouth. Week 1, on the road in a tough environment, with their, they're going to be hanging their banner, and that's the part of it. So I think it's going to be interesting, it's going to be fun, it's going to be a tough task.
Patriots quarterback Drake May, September 9th, Patriots in Seattle.
Hi, it's Chelsea from Wise, and this is our 10th year producing Wise Words. Today, Paige, an 8th grader from Hartford Memorial Middle School, is sharing wise words.
Sometimes we have days where everything goes right. We ace the test, it's Pete today, and we feel great. It's easy to share those happy feelings with others by being kind and helpful. But what about those not so great days? Sometimes when we're feeling sad or angry, we may slip up or say or do something that hurts someone else. Sometimes we might use our feelings as an excuse for why we're hurtful. But even when we're feeling sad or angry, it's never an excuse for hurting others. So what do we do next? We have to admit what we did wrong, whether we meant to do it or not. It's our responsibility to fix it. No excuses. What are some ways we can make things right? What has been helpful when someone hurts you?
These wise words are supported by the Hypertherm Hope Foundation, a proud sponsor of WISE and our goal to end violence, share hope, and change lives. To learn more, please visit our website, wiseuv.org.
Hey, good morning. 16 minutes after 6 at 51 degrees, partly cloudy. We're heading for the low and mid 60s, but there is some rain in the forecast. We take a break here and take a look in more detail at the weather. Compliments of your friends at Wells River Chevrolet, which is part of the Autosaver Group. And that's a really big deal, as in the Autosaver Group's Big Deal Plus that comes at no charge with a purchase or lease of every new or used vehicle at Wells River Chevrolet. At the Autosaver Group's Wells River Chevrolet, new special 2026 model year Chevrolet Silverado 1500 WT Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, 5.3-liter V8, $6,901 with total combined savings, 5 for $46,814. Wells River Chevy is home of the big deal. Hurry in today or shop online anytime at wellsriverchevy.com. Together, let's drive. Stock number WT26205. Not available with special financing lease and some other offers through June 1st, 2026.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly cloudy, a rising chance of afternoon showers, thunder possible, valley highs in the mid to upper 60s, winds becoming west and gusting to 20 miles an hour. Rain likely tonight, possibly heavy at times, lows in the low to mid 40s. Morning showers likely Saturday, chance afternoon, mainly over high terrain, breezy, mid to upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, Lawrence, thank you. As we remind you, we'll be chatting live with the Fairbanks Museum shortly after 7:30 this morning, right after birthdays and anniversaries. As Lawrence was pinch hitting for Mark Breen last week, Mark returns this morning with his knowledge about our local weather. And there you have it, the updated weather, brought to you by your friends at Wells River Chevrolet, which is part of the Autosaver Group. Same great people, same great experience, and, of course, the Big Deal Plus. They're on the web at wellsriverchevy.com. And at about 7:45 this morning, Ted Cooper will give us an update as to what's happening right there in downtown Wells River at Wells River Chevrolet. We're fortunate enough to take a few minutes right here at Your Country, WYKR, as we've got some guests from Rivendell Academy in Orford who actually took some time out of their busy schedules, I assume, to get up here and talk with us. What is it, about 20, 25-minute drive?
Yes, it
is. Turn that just a little bit. So Patricia Rella, who is the principal, has been for
2 years.
2 years. All right. Good to have you along here with us.
Thank you.
All right. So wrapping up the year in a hurry.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's coming to a screeching halt.
Oh, I bet it is. All right. So when's graduation, Patricia?
It is June 6th on a Saturday.
Wow. Coming right up. Well, anyway, thanks for making the drive. Beautiful day.
Yeah, it is a beautiful day. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, no problem. So the students you have with you today, before we get into our conversation with them, introduce.
Okay, we have our a senior with us today, Alice Kraft, and we have 2 juniors with us here today, Isla Manser and Sarah Champagne.
Excellent. And one of you is a senior, the others are juniors.
Yes.
So you are going to be graduating in a week or so.
Yes.
All right, well, okay, Alice, we'll get you up to this microphone. What are you going to do once you graduate?
I am going to UVM in the fall for nursing.
Oh, great. Good for you. All right. So did you apply to other colleges before you got accepted?
I did, yes. I got accepted into, I think, around 6.
Okay. So why UVM?
I love the campus. The community up there is amazing, and I like the idea of being close to home. I have a lot of friends here, a lot of connections that I've made, so I don't want to rip those away.
Okay. So are you in state or out of state? I'm talking about tuition stuff here, because I
Yes.
know it's expensive,
Yes,
Alice.
it is. I'm in state.
Okay. So some of your accomplishments, because you're going to be graduating, some of the things that might come to mind that you've done while you were at Rivendell?
Well, I have been part of the performing arts program for all 4 years. I have played varsity soccer for the last 2. I am graduating with my LNA license and my EMT license
Wow.
through Riverbend Career and Technical Center. Shout out to them. They are amazing.
Good for you.
Yeah, so I'm super excited.
Yeah, my grandson goes there, so
Oh,
yeah,
really?
it's great. Yeah.
That's fabulous.
Well, good for you.
Thank you.
All right, Alice Kraft, musical lead and performing arts. But
Yes.
you're going to go into nursing. What's the final destination? I know there's a lot of different avenues when you get into that.
Well, for me, performing arts is more of a side gig. Like, I love it. I love to sing. I love to perform. But medicine is what I want to do as a career. So I'm hoping to pursue a career in emergency medicine. I'm not sure if I want to go to med school yet, but we'll see. Potentially ending in flight nursing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Alice. We'll
Yeah,
get
of
back to you in a
course.
minute.
Okay.
Isla Mansard, did I get that right? How are you?
Good, how are you?
All right, we're going on to our juniors. You're an exchange student, and you had some experience in Italy, but you live here. You're not actually from Italy.
No, I am from a little town West Fairleigh, and I had the opportunity to go to Florence, Italy for my fall semester.
Okay, so you go for so many months, and that's it.
Yep.
It seemed like back when I was in school, like centuries ago, it seems like at this point, they went for a whole year. Is that true at that time? I don't know. It seems like they spent like a whole year, and then they came back and would finish out their whole year at the local school.
I feel like that's pretty common at the college level
All right.
to go for a whole year. I have heard of high school students going for an entire year, but more often it's a little bit of a shorter time.
Right.
I mean, sometimes they're only 16 or,
Okay.
16 years old.
So what's the process to study abroad? What do you have to do to get there? And what did you do while you were there?
So the process, it started with the application process, making sure I had good enough grades to go,
Okay.
and I had all my credits for the semester that I would need, and applying to the program I went to. And then once I was there, you have to get a visa to stay,
Mhm.
and
So you have to stay with a family, and you stay with that family for the entire time you're there?
yes, I had the ability to stay with two families. So my first host person was an older American woman who had been there for 60 years and had kids there and was kind of assimilated in the culture. And then I transferred to an Italian family in a small town called Prato, where I had two older host brothers and a Italian mother and father.
All right, so you went to school there.
Yes.
So what's it like there in comparison to here?
It was awesome.
Really?
I got to go in at 8 a.m. and leave at 1 p.m. and then run around the city.
Wow. What's the city like?
It's such a gorgeous city, Florence. In Italian, it's called Firenze, and it has so much culture and so many museums and a giant church called the Duomo, and it is such a beautiful place with so many historical sites.
So you're a junior. So what are your ambitions? You still have another year at Rivendell?
Yes, I have another year. I'm hoping to take some college classes and
Then go to UVM.
definitely love UVM.
No, I'm just picking on you. So what would your college of choice be if you go to college in Iowa?
Honestly, I haven't thought too much about
Yeah.
it. Getting to that part.
So Alice wants to get into nursing. What about you?
I'm hoping to study economics from a environmental and energy perspective.
All right. So when you came back from being in Italy, what did you tell the other students? Give it a go? But not necessarily Italy, but be an exchange student?
It's just such an incredible experience
Awesome.
to, learn some other culture
Sure.
and a little bit of their language, try to teach my friends a little bit.
All right. Sounds like fun. Excellent. All right. Sarah Champagne, Dartmouth campus courses you've been participating in. You're also a junior.
Yes.
All right. So some of your ambitions and why you've been going to Dartmouth. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So I want to also go into nursing.
Oh, good.
I'm not sure what college I want to go to yet, but definitely like the state universities are on the list. I wanted to take Dartmouth courses because like the science course that I took was like a very good like next step for my like educational journey. So I wanted to like challenge myself.
So Rivendell's pretty close to the Dartmouth campus. Do you drive yourself? Somebody drive you? Because you're a junior. What's the deal like?
I do drive myself. So I leave at lunch on like every other day. And I drive down, I park in the student lot, and then I go to class.
All right. How many students are at Rivendell total?
About 200.
All right. So each graduating class has approximately how many?
I think my class has maybe 30.
All right. So about 30 for
30,
each class.
35, yeah.
Okay, good. All right. Final comments. Let's go back to Alice. As we've kind of gone through this for the last few minutes, a kind of quick overview and some of your accomplishments at Rivendell. If there's anything else that comes to mind, here's your opportunity. You ladies will also have the same question. So,
I think I'd love to just shout out our tech school, Riverbend Career and Technical Center. They're fabulous, and I love the fact that Rivendell has the opportunity to collab with them, as well as 3 other schools. Yeah, definitely do the arts program. It's amazing. We have a new teacher now. Our old theater teacher retired after upwards of 30 years of being with Rivendell, so definitely go see Ms. Lieberman. We love her. Yeah, so many awesome opportunities at Rivendell.
And a lot of the local schools do go to Riverbend.
Yes.
I chat with them every couple of weeks. Usually the instructors, sometimes the students. So been doing it for years, so I know all about Riverbend.
Awesome.
I went there. My children went there. My grandchildren are going there. So
Oh, really?
yeah, it's really great.
That's amazing.
All right, Isla, you get your final comments as well. Sarah, you're next.
I just shout out our amazing teachers. We are so privileged to have such smart and intelligent and caring teachers who make opportunities to talk with students. And
Good. Those are good words. Thank you, Isla. Isla Manser. From West Fairleigh?
Yes.
There you go. All right. And Sarah Champagne, who's been commuting to Dartmouth and going down there for nursing?
For science programs.
Science programs. Okay.
Yep.
Your final comments maybe about your career and where you're going or what's been happening at Riverbend and also at your school?
Yeah. So, like, the Dartmouth program is an amazing program for the local high schoolers. It is a great next step for your college career while you're still in high school and earning dual credits, so that's amazing.
Do other schools also commute and go to Dartmouth for this type of thing? They do. Okay.
Yes, so it's a 50-mile radius from Dartmouth.
Okay, good. Awesome. Well, they speak well. Yeah. Well, we'll have you do the final comments in regards to your school year and maybe some of the successes that you have seen and maybe looking ahead to next year because graduation's coming up here.
Yeah, I would say that we've had a pretty spectacular year, and I second what Isla was saying about the amazing staff that we have. We're very fortunate to have the folks who have been with us for a while, and we also have some new folks this year, and they just care so much about the students and put their whole self into teaching and it isn't just teaching, right? It's connecting with the kids and really sort of forming meaningful relationships with them. And I think in part, we are able to do that because of the size. You know, you mentioned 30 kids in a class, 35 kids in a class. It's small enough so that those connections can really become meaningful and deep. But it's big enough to be able to provide all of these opportunities that we're talking about here today. So it really is like the optimal size.
Yeah. And it's worked out well having, it is an interstate school, is that what you call it?
Yes, it is one of the very few interstate schools in the United States.
And that's worked out well.
Yeah, it has its challenges for sure.
An interstate school is what? Because you're taking care of Vermont and New Hampshire.
Yes, because normally...
For our listeners that don't know what it is.
Right, so an interstate school is where residents from both sides of the river, in this case, come to the school as a public school.
Yeah, I remember when they brought this to the public years and years ago. It was a big deal.
It is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's unusual because each state has their own governance around schooling. You know, some things come mandated from the federal government, but a lot of the statutes are, you know, from the state level. So that's why we call ourselves really a Vermont district is more so. But we do still follow some of the rules from New Hampshire because our residents, some of our kids are residents of New Hampshire.
Definitely.
So it gets a little complicated, but it works. It works for Rivendell. They're making it work.
Yeah, and of course, it was kind of the model school to begin with because of the interstate part of it. Yeah. Patricia Rella, thank you, principal at Rivendell, bringing some students up and some great words that they have to say about their careers and also about Rivendell.
Yes, we're very proud of them. And thank you for having us.
You're quite welcome. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was a conversation I had yesterday morning. As a matter of fact, the three young women from Rivendell in here, taking some time out of their schedules, as well as the principal. It is 6:33. I'm Stephen John Friends, right up until 9 o'clock this morning. We're getting set right now to check out the weather forecast again. Then in just a few minutes, the Bear Ridge Speedway race report. But right now, we're checking out the weather compliments of St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, which is part of the Autosaver Group, where every deal comes with the Big Deal Plus, a 2-year unlimited schedule maintenance plan, which includes free state inspections for life.
Holy schmoly, it's Matt LeCire from the Autosaver Group, St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. There's always something exciting happening at St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, and there's never been a better time to stop in and see what's on the lot. We've got new Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram models arriving regularly, plus a strong selection of dependable pre-owned vehicles for every driver. Whether you want capability, comfort, style, or power, our team is here to help you find the vehicle that's right for you. And with our service department ready to help with maintenance and repairs, we're here to help you before, during, and after the sale. St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, where Vermont comes to drive.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly cloudy, a rising chance of afternoon showers, thunder possible, valley highs in the mid to upper 60s, winds becoming west and gusting to 20 miles an hour. Rain likely tonight, possibly heavy at times, lows in the low to mid 40s. Morning showers likely Saturday, chance afternoon, mainly over high terrain, breezy, mid to upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
Thank you. Right now 51, heading for the mid 60s with some rain in the forecast. Updated weather brought to you by St. Johnsbury Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, which is part of the Autosaver Group. They're also online at stjohnsburycdjr.com. It's customer appreciation time at Wells River Savings. They will be celebrating with their annual barbecue this Friday, May 29th from 11 till 2 in Bradford. So take a moment to visit the Bradford branch of Wells River Savings Bank and say hello. Whether you're a current customer, an old friend, or both, have some lunch. They hope to see you this Friday, May 29th, anytime from 11 till 2 in Bradford for the annual Customer Appreciation Day lunch barbecue. Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Tommy's Auto is now open at 266 Route 10 in Piermont, taking care of all vehicle maintenance needs. Think spring. Now's the time to reserve your summer tires mounted and balanced with the best prices and all services. Make your appointment soon by calling Tommy's Auto, 802-535-2804. After spending many years of Moonlight Auto Repair, Tommy decided to open his own business at 266 Route 10 in Piermont. Open every day, Monday through Saturday, beginning at 7:30. Now's the time to contact Tommy's Auto.
Chief Crushing and Excavation has plenty of products that can be delivered to you from one of their many nearby locations. Products available include sand for septic systems, crushed gravel, topsoil, clay fills, stay mat, ledge, and specialty items such as blue ledge and gravel. Chief Crushing and Excavation is fully insured and has Vermont and New Hampshire locations near you, including Wells River Quarry, the South Rygate Pit, Nick's Aggregate and Pike, and Blaisdell Sand and Gravel in North Haverhill. Excavation and full land clearing services are also available. For quarry operation hours, pricing, and directions, call Chief Crushing and Excavation at 802-584-3868.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly cloudy, a rising chance of afternoon showers, thunder possible, valley highs in the mid to upper 60s, winds becoming west and gusting to 20 miles an hour. Rain likely tonight, possibly heavy at times, lows in the low to mid 40s. Morning showers likely Saturday, chance afternoon, mainly over high terrain, breezy, mid to upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
All right, about 6:40 and hanging around 51 degrees, partly cloudy skies, mid 60s with some rain in the forecast. And there you have it, updated weather this time around, brought to you by Chief Crushing and Excavation, lining up projects as we speak. Be sure to call Chief. Do it today at 802-584-3868. Bear Ridge Speedway race reports coming up in just a couple of minutes. At the Autosaver Group's Wells River Chevrolet, new special 2026 model year Chevrolet Silverado 1500 WT Crew Cab 4-wheel drive, 5.3-liter V8, $6,901 with total combined savings, 5 for $46,814. Wells River Chevy is home of the big deal. Hurry in today or shop online anytime at wellsriverchevy.com. Together, let's drive. Stock number WT26205. Not available with special financing lease and some other offers through June 1st, 2026. All right, here we go. Starting off a Friday morning, the final Friday of the month, by the way. We're heading into June in a hurry. The 6th month of the year already?
Almost there.
Days are going to start getting shorter pretty quick.
Don't say that.
Well, first day of summer.
I finally got long enough so we can afford, so we can think of doing something.
Yeah, people think I'm nuts. I like the first day of winter better than the
Better.
first day of summer because the days start getting longer.
Yep, absolutely. They start getting shorter.
Start getting shorter. I don't know. It's nice, if you people who are up and at 'em early in the morning, which we are, it's nice to see the light and the birds chirping and everything at 4:30 in the morning now.
Yep.
Well, I'm not that early.
And the good clean air.
That's right.
Good clean air.
Yeah.
I never was up that early. I'm earlier now because of the four-legged thing, but other than that.
You elected to do that again.
I know. He picked her. He picked that one. She's a good girl.
I did not.
You said
I had a choice.
You had a choice, and you said
and
you
that was the
prefer
only
the
choice
one.
I had. It wasn't going to make any difference which one I picked. There was one coming regardless what I said. So I said no, and I kept saying no, but it
kind of like I remember about
got one.
5 or 6 years ago, there was a cat that ended up in the house by mistake and from the barn. And one day he says to me, "You have to decide what you're going to do with that cat." And I'm like, "Well, there you go. You should never have said that because the cat stayed."
What's the cat's name?
That would be Madam Nubs.
What's the dog's name?
Maisie Daisy. They're all two names. Miss Kitty and Princess Genovia.
Oh.
Yeah, we have two names for everybody. He has favorite names you can't say on the radio, so.
Yeah, I can just imagine.
Yeah, you can imagine too.
So, was there any swearing on the racetrack last week, or was it a pretty good run for everybody?
Oh, a couple guys got a little upset, but it was a pretty good run most of the night.
All right.
I think so. Yeah.
And we're expecting it to be pretty good tomorrow night.
Chilly. Sell sweatshirts.
It'd be a little cool, but I think it'll be good racing tomorrow night.
So we're thinking we're talking rain later tonight, tomorrow morning, and then I guess some sun tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow afternoon.
Clearing out a bit and chilly.
Yeah.
So dress appropriately.
There you go.
Get some moisture down the racetrack. Sprint cars are there, sprint cars are there this week, so get some moisture in the track. You'll see them doing some wheelies down the straightaways.
Front tire be off.
Front tires be right
a little
off the
torque
ground.
on that baby, huh? All right.
Yeah.
So how late will the races go? Because we're going to be there tomorrow night.
Well, we plan on being there till, I was going to say 3 in the morning, but we have an 11 o'clock curfew. We try. Last week actually was, we did pretty good because we had an enduro and we were done before 11. So we're settling down. Things are, we're getting into our groove. Usually we're 10:30-ish.
About 10:30 last week we were done.
Yeah, we were done 10:30 with an enduro, so that was good. So our goal is 10:30-ish.
Okay.
But we do have an 11 o'clock curfew.
Right. So
I know it's a long day for everybody.
So we're going to make an attempt.
Yes. But
to
don't
broadcast
jinx us. for the whole show, right?
Right. So let's find out what happened last week at Barrie Speedway. Sponsored by who?
LaRue Brothers Transmissions in Barton, Vermont. Dale LaRue does have a coupe. He comes down. He and his boy come down and race with us some. Been supporters of Barrie Speedway for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
So great guys. In the Sable & Sons Dirt Car Sportsman Modifieds, outsider Joey Scarborough picked up the win. And Joey's, if some of you people are remembering some of the older days, Joey's father picked up a championship back in the 90s.
I wondered.
Yeah.
Yep.
Donald said he was there. Donald was there. I guess he probably owns the car for his boy there. He made the statement that it doesn't seem to be quite so far over here as it used to be back when I used to race over here full time. But
he's over from the Rutland area.
over from Brandon.
That's a haul.
They called him the Brandon Bandit, and
Have
probably he was 100% right. But anyway, that's okay. Good racer back at him and Vince Quinville, Jimmy Ryan, those guys in the old days. It was fun.
Yeah.
Martin Lassard come down from Quebec, Canada. Finished second. Robert Tucker, Max Oliver, Jeremy Huntoon, top 5. Cody Gregonopoulos, Derek McGrew, Nick Brunig, Taylor Watson, and Melvin Pearson. 29 cars we started.
Really?
That's the other night.
Yeah.
It
Pretty
was a
good.
series race.
They were happy.
They did a pretty good job.
Yeah,
they
once
actually did.
Yeah, once they got going, they were good.
Took a couple cautions, but the first caution didn't come out till, I don't know, 10 laps, 11 laps into it. So they were paying attention. They did a good job. Oh, let's see. Wells River Chevrolet Dirt Car Sportsman Coops. Mike Danforth picked up the win over Logan Martin. Chris Roberts, Lucas Wheeler, Adam Osgood, top 5. Rob Williams, last week's winner, finished in 6th. Ali Bushy, Cooper Hodge, Dale LaRue, Travis King, now top 10. In the Dirt Car Midgets, Chris Murray picked up the win over Will Hall. Daniel Piasca, Wayne Kohler, Brandon Piasca, John Fulano, Nick Freddo, the last time's feature winner, Keith Brown, and Jeff Horn. And
Adam Whitney.
Back to the racetrack for 3 or 4 year hiatus was Adam Whitney.
He said it was like 17, but I can't believe it was that long.
Rounded out the top 10. It's been a while. You lose track of time. In the La Valley Building Supplies Dirt Stalkers, John Fields picked up the win over Tim Tucker, Mike Mann, Tyler Fellows, Keith Manser, Tenny Blake, Robert Lawnmore, James Thompson, and Michael LaRock. In the Woodville Power Equipment Ridge Runners, Zach Audette picked up the win over Doug Boucher, Ryan Sayers, Kevin LaForest, Riley Chafee, Katie Burrows, Terry Flint, William Moses, Tim Davis, and Leonard Sanborn, your top 10. And in the 4-cylinder Enduro, Tim Colby picked up the win over Jason Porter. And 2 laps to go, he was 3rd. So that's how quick it can change there. Dayton Blake, Ashton Waters, Justin Miller, Carson Thero, Jason Daly, Jerry Davis, Brandon Shelton, and Caleb Kramer. Top 10, 33 cars went for 75 laps.
It was. It
was
changed
pretty good
quickly
show.
at the end because I think the leader fell out. He was leading the whole race, then something happened to him, and it's like
2 laps to go.
Yeah, something
he
else
was sitting up in
happened.
turn 1, dead in the waters.
Yep. Colby's a good kid. He's been a supporter for a long time, so it was good to see him win.
Are you going to Albany next week?
Yes.
Friday?
Midgets. Yeah, just the our midgets are there for. It's a points race for Bear Ridge. It's the only outside race that we do that's points for our series.
Late night for you?
Yeah, could be. I'll be sleeping.
3.5 hours away.
Man. We got to do it.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the deal tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night we have Sportsman Modifieds, we have Sportsman Coupes, and we have the Modified Limiteds, late models, dirt stalkers, ridge runners, plus sprint cars of New England.
Is every week pretty much the same? Well, not. I mean, you keep it rolling, one race right after the other, or
we try to keep
because
it
you
rolling
got
that way.
because I'm saying you got different races coming in every week. Some have a week off, some don't.
So
Then you
the
bring in
modifieds, coupes, dirt stocks, and ridge runners are on the schedule every week.
Okay, this is kind of what I'm asking. Yeah.
Yeah. The late models and limited, they have a couple nights off during the year, but not a lot. Depending on, like last week with the series race, they didn't come in, but they're a regular division. The midgets are. It's supposed to be every other week. Sometimes it fluctuates a little bit depending on outside schedules. The Granite State mini sprints are once a month. The sprint cars of New England are once a month. And the Enduro series, which is also our points, are once a month. The mini sprints and the sprint cars, they do their own points and championship stuff.
Right,
But everybody else is under the Bear Ridge banner.
So when they're racing either every other week or once a month, are they racing somewhere else? The weeks they're not racing at Bear Ridge?
Some places, sometimes they do.
Yeah,
Yes.
like the limiteds might, or the late models might go down to Rumney, I don't know, or some guys go to Fairhaven, I guess. But
Some sprint cars.
Sprint cars.
They got a show at Albany. I think they had a show at Glen Ridge, got rained out, so I don't know if that's going to get rescheduled. They go to Maine for a couple of races.
yeah, they're a real series division. They're
Mini sprints is kind of us and Rumney, Rumtown, whatever they call that place down there now. It changes names every once in a while. So, and midgets are basically us and they do go to New Hampshire.
They go to
for
New
that
Hampshire
one
and they go to
race.
the other. They go to
Albany.
Albany
once.
I think.
Well, yeah, some of them bounce around a little bit.
So tomorrow night's a pretty busy night then. It looks
Yeah,
like.
every week's busy.
Yeah.
There is no light weeks.
Okay.
And then it's sponsored by, we're happy that Bar Harbor Bank was more than willing to continue on with the tradition from Woodsville Guarantees. So Bar Harbor Bank is the sponsor for tomorrow night's race.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Dead air. Nothing worse than dead air,
Dead air.
on the radio.
It's-
Dead
yeah.
air and the conversation's okay,
Yeah.
but dead air on the radio
So
is not good.
you've done radio, so you know all about that stuff.
I do. Following week is first week in June. It's a Vermont Food Bank benefit night.
Mhm.
So I think I say bring in 2 non-perishables and get $3 off 1 general admission ticket. And
That's Valley Floors
Valley
night.
Floors back on board. I'm always happy I can work with Brian and get him to stay with us. So that'll be another busy night.
Well, he's a real community supporter.
Yes,
He
he
is.
is.
Very much
Valley
so.
Floors, so that's
Yep.
great.
And it's Ridge Runner Madness, so we're already into our Madness nights.
Mhm.
So they need to have their slips in tomorrow night for eligible for pole position for that night, and then so their sponsors get announced because there's a little bit of work behind the scenes has to go into that.
Right.
They can bring in the laps the day of, but they would start behind the ones that brought them in last week, and the sponsors will not get recognized because I don't have the ability to do that.
Well, hats off to
At
you
the
guys.
track.
There's a lot of work behind the scenes to make this happen week after week. And you get the report out really quick. Sunday, Monday,
I
usually?
try to do it Sunday because
Yeah.
I have people screaming at me. Not you, but others. Yeah, well,
It's important to them.
I know. Well, it's like we go area auto. They want it Sunday afternoon with photos, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I know it's a lot. And if it's a late night, I'd like to be able to sleep past
But
for
they also
3
got,
hours.
They got a Tuesday morning deadline
Yeah.
that they got to get in, and there's probably 100 racetracks that they take care of. So it just can't everybody shows up at 7:00 Tuesday morning and expect to get their stuff in the paper because that's still a weekly paper
Yeah, it
that
is.
comes out.
Deadline.
And then I try to get the unofficial results. We always say unofficial just in case, but it's usually 99% of the time it's official. Finish the rundown on Facebook on Sunday because a lot of people are looking for that. So.
All right, so 6 o'clock tomorrow night, green flag?
Green flag, hopefully.
Yes.
Ish. All right. And our Bay Ridge Speedway race report on the radio is brought to you by your friends at Wells River Chevrolet, part of the Auto Saver Group, and they sponsor which division?
The
Wells River Chevrolet Sportsman
Sportsman
Coupes.
Awesome.
Dirt car Sportsman Coupes.
for over 30 years.
And that's something. All right, so we'll see you tomorrow night.
Another
We'll
great
see you tomorrow
local
night.
sponsor.
You
All
will
right.
see me because I'll be running by you.
You will. Maybe we'll chat for a few minutes.
You might.
All right.
She can take you in and she can show you what she has to do.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right.
And you can pick on our announcers at the same time
Definitely.
because you're right beside them.
Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. Check out the weekend weather. It's Customer Appreciation Sale time at Farmway in Bradford, celebrating 43 years. Store-wide savings on footwear, clothing, and hats. Some brands may be excluded due to vendor pricing restrictions. Darn Tough and Smart Wool socks, 20% off. Buy 12, get 30% off. Save on indoor and outdoor furniture, cookware, jewelry, and more on advertised specials throughout both stores. It's Customer Appreciation time at Farmway in Bradford. Free barbecue Saturday, June 6, 11 to 2. Customer Appreciation Sale through Saturday, June 6. Farmway Complete Outfitters for Man and Beast, Bradford.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast for today, partly to mostly cloudy, a rising chance of afternoon showers, thunder possible, valley highs in the mid to upper 60s, winds becoming west and gusting to 20 miles an hour. Rain likely tonight, possibly heavy at times, lows in the low to mid 40s. Morning showers likely Saturday, chance afternoon, mainly over high terrain, breezy, mid to upper 50s. I'm meteorologist Lawrence Hayes for WYKR.
And a lot going on at Farmway in Bradford. Their Customer Appreciation Sale, May 29th through June 6th, celebrating 43 years. Farmway in Bradford, 286 Waits River Road. And, of course, the free barbecue's coming up Saturday, June 6th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. with hot dogs, homemade baked beans, chips, lemonade, and, of course, the friendly conversation. Be sure to check it out. Customer Appreciation Sale, May 29th through June 6th. Farmway in Bradford, presenting the weekend weather. Well, that's going to wrap up the 6 o'clock hour in a hurry. We'll head into the 7 o'clock hour with a lot of great information right here at your country. WYKR Haverhill, WTWN Wells River, W28060E Wells River at 105.1 FM. And, of course, checking out news at the top of the hour. We'll come out of that chatting with Charlie Gray, Four Corners Farm, South Newbury, something we do every week during the growing season. Had a conversation with Bob and Gabe Yaroshevich, Wild Vermont Customs, Wise Enterprises yesterday. We'll be listening to that conversation. And then, of course, the birthdays and anniversaries. We check those right around 7:30. And then on the other side of that, we'll chat with Mark Breen at the Fairbanks Museum, brought to you by Hatch Lane Farm, Wicked Good Dairy Delights, and Profile Meats in North Haverhill. Ted Cooper, Wells River Chevrolet, will check in via telephone at about 7:45. And that wraps up the 7 o'clock hour. Then we head into a pretty busy 8 o'clock hour, chatting with Lorenzo Wilhite and Mike Simpson from Wells River Savings Bank. The final Friday of the month, they give us an update as to what's happening at Wells River Savings. And then Todd Holt chatted with us yesterday, local physical therapist in downtown Wells River, Valley Floors, a weekly conversation with them. And then it's Cottage Hospital, their Cottage on Call, conversation shortly after 8:30 this morning. And we do that the final Friday of the month as well. Right now, we're getting ready to take a break and look at the latest news at 7 o'clock. So how does that affect things down on the farm at Four Corners Farm anyway, Charlie?
Oh, it's going good. I mean, disease issue is our biggest thing now is the strawberries, since a lot of them have, we're about, on the plastic culture, we're about halfway through bloom, so some of them already started to form green fruit. So with this cold, wet weather coming up, we got to just worry about diseases and, hopefully we get some sunny weather to dry us out next week, because what would happen is when the strawberry fruit, when it starts forming the berry, if it's too cold and wet, or if it's not windy enough, the petal of the flower will actually stick to that forming fruit, and you don't really know it's happening until later on, and then wherever that petal or whether some dead material has stuck into the green fruit, usually becomes called botrytis or a gray mold. So that's the only thing we got to kind of worry about now, is being cold and wet. But with good preparation and airing out the fields, it won't be too bad. But I did, on a happier note, I did eat my first strawberry yesterday out of the field. So there was only about 5 in the whole field. So we're not enough to having to stand, but we're getting closer. A couple more weeks.
Yeah,
so.
they're coming on. That's good. So how many acres did you plant those things this year?
So we're rotating about 8 acres of strawberries, and we planted about 4 acres of strawberries. So pretty much half of what we have, because we'll have 4 acres that's 2 years old, and we'll have about 4 acres that's a year old. So and then we'll plus our everbearers on top, but those won't be coming in until the later fall. So
yeah. Years ago it used to be June, and then the berries were done for another year, weren't they?
Yeah, it's crazy. In the last 20 years or whatever, with technology has come about, and the fact now we can between using plastic and different row covers, and with drip irrigation and different fertilizer and different planting techniques, we now I'm trying to shoot for what we did last year, where we picked from Memorial Day all the way to the first frost. But we didn't get Memorial Day this year. But it's been a little colder. I think that as they're saying in the weather, Mount Washington might be getting snow tonight, tonight to tomorrow morning. So it's the White Mountains, I think, are still a little frozen from such a long winter.
Yeah, we've had huge fluctuation in temperatures. We've talked the mid-80s, and then drops down to the 40s, clear nights, and then cloudy nights. We've even had some fog. What's that do to all of your plants?
Yeah, it's tricky, because some of them just they kind of bolt a little bit, and then they stop growing. Asparagus is the hardest one, because it's they really asparagus likes warmer weather. It likes good 70 and 50 at night, so it can grow. But it grows during the day, and then it's so cold at night, everything kind of stops, and then you have these smaller windows to grow. So it's kind of harder to judge. On Tuesday when it was hot, this asparagus kind of bolted, and we had more asparagus than we kind of knew what to do with. And now it's cold, and then now we need the asparagus for the weekend, but we don't. We have asparagus at the farm stand, but we won't be able to pick every day. I think we're going to pick this morning, and then we'll pick Sunday morning. So
right.
There'll still be some asparagus available in the farm stand.
Sure.
The one thing that this weather is not affecting at all is our cherry tomatoes, because they're at 68 degrees no matter what it's doing outside, and we actually have a lot of them available. So this is definitely, and we have lettuce available and cucumbers available. So it's nice to be able to have salads again and from the farm stand. So if people are looking for that, we have that available.
Yeah. What about hanging baskets and maybe the tomato plants and even your bedding plants?
Yes, this is the time. If people haven't started, working up their gardens and getting them ready, this is, I don't think it's going to frost. I'm pretty sure we're just getting rain and cold weather. So but this is definitely the time to start, come by, get yourself some tomato plants, the bedding plants, and anything else you need for your garden. And so that way, later in the fall, you'll have, food to eat.
Mm-hmm. We haven't talked much in the past, because we do this, of course, every Friday during the growing season, much about like your dahlia bulbs.
Yes, they're tubers. They're tubers or bulbs, but I think they're more tubers. This is something new. One of the business partners, Marie, she's been doing for a couple of years now, and I think she just kind of over-ordered on the tubers. But they're really cool. They make these big, almost like dinner plate, depending on the nitrogen level, they almost like dinner plate style flowers in the fall. So if you have an area around your house, or you're looking for, to put something new in your gardens at home and in your perennial gardens, we have plenty of all different. If you come to the farm stand, we have all different flowers, all different shapes, sizes, and colors of the dahlia tubers. It's just pictures laid out, so you can come and get tubers of your favorite color. And they make almost small dinner size plate flowers when they bloom in the fall. And you can they are perennial, so you can, before winter, you can dig up your bulbs, throw them in some sawdust, and, throw them in somewhere where it doesn't freeze, and you can put them again next year, or you can just, throw some mulch over them, and fingers crossed they make it through the winter.
Okay. So you kind of got to protect them a little bit if you want to leave them in the ground.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Because they are fragile. They don't like a hard freeze. So, but with a little straw or protection over the top, they should be fine.
All right. So when we chat next Friday, heading into June, what are your expectations in regards to a lot of your plants on board there?
Is it already June already? I thought we had a whole nother week of May.
Coming into it in a hurry.
I needed 6 weeks in May this year.
Really? Well.
But yeah, no. Hopefully, let's see. We have a whole bunch of we had a holdover field from last year of strawberries, our everbears that we picked last fall that I've been working on. And there's a bunch of green berries coming, so those will probably be green to white next week. As I said, I haven't been in the greenhouse, but I'm sure our big beef and our saladettes are right close behind the cherries. We've already had cherry tomatoes now for almost 2 weeks, so it's the slicers, and we got hamburger now available in the farm stand. So people, we don't quite have the big beef, but we will have hamburgers. So you can have. I've been using cherry tomatoes as my tomato on my burger, but yeah, we're gonna have a lot of different things available. With the beet greens, carrots are coming along. Probably another couple weeks for carrots. We've actually been putting in some more summer crops. We planted melons yesterday. We have our winter squash in the ground. So the farm's moving ahead at full steam, and we're excited, and always appreciate people coming and visiting us. And we're open every day from 9 to 5. As we get a little later, we'll be open 9 to 6. And it's just appreciate everybody coming and supporting us out.
All right, and the farm stand's open what hours?
9 to 5.
Okay.
We're 9 to 5. I think I'll update by next time. I'll have a more definite. But for right now, we're 9 to 5. We're kind of waiting for everybody to get out of school, so that way we can get more help in the farm stand.
Yeah. All right. So that's every day, 7 days a week.
Yeah. So make sure. So we need, if you want to plant a new perennial in your garden, this is the time to do it. And if you need a nice hanging basket for either to hang on the side of your house to make it look pretty, or if you have whiskey barrels or other, you can always take apart the hanging basket and plant the flowers in your garden.
Yeah,
and we'll take any empty baskets back if people don't want to use them.
Oh, good. All right, good ideas right there at Four Corners Farm, South Newbury. Thanks, Charlie. Enjoy the weekend.
Yep. Thank you. See you next week.
All righty. There you go. Charlie Gray representing the Gray family, Four Corners Farm, South Newbury. Our weekly growing conversation as to what's happening there.
Red Sox completed their 1-5 homestand with a 10-2 loss to Atlanta, tied at 4 in the fourth inning. The Braves scored 5 times. It was over. manager Chad Tracy.
It's a very almost a no-win situation. Almost when you stare at that, you're almost they're guaranteed runs here. So you're going to bring in your highest leverage arm in the sixth to potentially give up 2 runs with getting 2 outs. We get Saylor out of there after 5 and it's 2-2. That you'd be feeling pretty good about that. And then obviously it just got away from us in the sixth on.
Red Sox manager Chad Tracy. Sox usually consistent. Peyton Tolley. 4 innings pitched, not as consistent as usual.
To win and put this team in the best position to win, and I was just going as long as I did with how many pitches I did. Is I'm not gonna look back on this one very in a good light. So
Peyton Tolley, Braves 10, Red Sox 2. Next 3 games at Cleveland.
And there you have it. It's Your Country, WYKR. That's Post Malone along with Morgan Wallen, a song that they did pretty well with a year or so ago. We're 15 minutes after 7 here at Your Country, WYKR. Well, we're glad to have Bob and Gabe with us again from Wild Vermont Customs, Wise Enterprises. It's been a while since they've actually been in our studios because they've been so stinking busy with Wise Enterprises.
Yeah, the big project we've been working on, the grain processing center, which is grain milling, cleaning, a bakery and distillery. It's just been keeping us tied up. We've been driving to Ferrisburg every day, so 2 hours there, 2 hours back every day, plus the work.
So what's the day like? You leave at what time and get back?
If it's me and Gabe going, we typically leave by 6, and then we get back at 4:30, 5 o'clock.
All right, not too bad.
If Jasper goes with us, Jasper's not as early as we are, so we go 6:30.
Okay.
And usually try to get back by 4 or so with Jasper. He's got other family commitments that he needs to take care of, so I try to respect that and get him back in time.
So what is this and what do you guys do? Just in a nutshell.
So this facility will take grain in, clean the grain, mill it into flour. Some of it will get sold as flour. Some of it will get sold as cleaned grain. Some of it will get used in the bakery to make sourdough products. And then some of it's going to get used in the distillery to make whiskey or brandy or whatever else we
Are you
choose.
you're building this pretty much from the ground up?
It was I guess last August, it was an empty lot, just a grassy field.
Now you got buildings and you're building stuff inside them.
So we on Friday got our temporary occupancy. So the door is open for baking. The first loaf of bread was made on Wednesday. Still just perfecting some of the baking stuff and new equipment, so getting the equipment to all function right. The electrician at the end was on vacation, so we don't have our big mixer set up. The big mixer will do like 78 pounds of dough at a time, but
So
hopefully next week that'll be all hooked up.
So your presence in this has been like 85%. You're building it with subcontractors.
Definitely subcontractors, but I designed the whole operation, designed the placement, all the equipment, the building, the rooms. Pretty much every aspect of it was my design.
Man, a lot to it then.
And then
what's the square footage roughly?
This is a small building, so the distillery portion's not up. So we decided
you mean distillery building.
Yeah, so it's going to be an addition on this building
eventually.
We decided to go with just this first part this year, just to try to get up and operational.
One step at a time.
And we already have 63 barrels of bourbon and whiskey already sitting aging that another distillery that is also a customer of mine made for him.
Okay.
So they used his recipe. They made it and put it in the barrel, so it's aging. We don't have our permit to bottle yet from the state. We do from the feds. We're all set. We're all licensed and everything. We're just waiting for the state fire marshal, who's waiting for our fire alarm system to be finished installed.
Right. So that part is in our next conversations down the road when the ground starts breaking for that. So let's get closer to home. That's Wise Enterprises, more of the industrial part, commercial, I guess. Wise Enterprises, of course, has been around longer than Wild Vermont Customs?
Yeah, Wise Enterprises has been around since 2006.
Okay, a long time. So
Wild Vermont Customs, I think, was maybe like 2013 or 14.
Mm-hmm. So that's a little bit more for our listeners, I assume.
It is. It's a lot more for the listeners. It's pretty much targeted toward the listeners.
So predominantly, you do what, 4 or 5 things?
I mean, it's a lot of custom stuff for people, whether it's doing hydro dipping or powder coating, metal artwork, custom plasma cutout signs and railings, panels, things of that nature. Like for this distillery, where the two businesses kind of blend together, we're making the sign to go out on the road.
Yeah.
So they do tie together a little bit, but mostly Wild Vermont Customs tries to target the actual single person, not a big entity.
Okay. So I know we've mentioned it a little bit with the fairs coming up. North Haverhill Fair is a little earlier this year. So what have you guys got up your sleeve?
Yeah. So
if you have any time to get this put together in the next few weeks.
It's funny, we say every year that we're not waiting till the last minute to get stuff ready for the fair.
But guess what?
But paying the bills has to take priority, unfortunately. But we have actually started a bigger project. It's actually a multi-year project. So we decided that we are going to do this project and bring it to the fair as a work in progress. So it'll be stages. Hopefully it's just 2 fairs, maybe 3, but it's for me personally.
Okay.
So my personal stuff always gets pushed the last on the list.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good. I'll tell you that it started its life as a '93 Harley, and then you'll have to come visit the booth to see what it's turning its life into.
Let's do it. All right. So we're talking North Haverhill Fair beginning on, I believe, the 22nd.
I believe you're correct.
22nd it is of July this year. So you're going to start hearing more about that on the radio and also in the papers in the next few weeks as we get closer to it. So you guys are busy. Jasper's doing a great job. You've been taking Gabe with you. Sounds like you are really busy.
It's actually been working great.
Good for you.
Now that there's 3 of us full time, it makes life so much simpler for us. A lot of times when it's on the road work, I need 2 people. But now I can actually still have someone working in the shop while others are on the road. A lot of times I can send Jasper and Gabe, like when we were doing the design work on the building for the distillery and bakery, I could stay and work on design or have meetings with different contractors, and those 2 could go and work and get customer stuff done. So
makes it good.
Definitely is making life a lot easier.
Yeah. As we did this a couple of weeks ago, as Bob and Gabe give us an update from Wild Vermont Customs and Wise Enterprises every couple of weeks. We did it on the phone because you're actually at the project over there. So
I was.
Good to see you again. And people want to contact you, best way to do is?
Best way is just go on to Facebook, message me through Facebook. Let's get started that way.
Okay.
Then we can have conversations after that.
Yeah. Heading into June, next conversation, we'll be that much closer to the North Haverhill Fair with another update from Bob and Gabe. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Right after this.
Hi, I'm Lori Riggy, commercial loan specialist at Wells River Savings Bank. What makes a good bank? For some, it's convenience. For others, it's trust. At Wells River Savings Bank, you don't have to choose. For over 130 years, we've been more than just a bank. We've been your neighbors. We know our customers by name and care about the things that matter most to them. From supporting local youth sports and community projects to helping families and small businesses grow, every dollar that stays local helps our communities thrive. Because a mutual community bank like ours, your deposits don't just sit in an account. They go back into the community to make a real difference. Wells River Savings Bank, where community comes first and financial success follows. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At 26 minutes after 7, the weather with a temperature of 53 and heading for the mid-60s, being brought to you by Woodsville Power Equipment, sales, service, parts, repairs, and a whole lot more. And also a Bobcat, Woodsville on the lot, 4942 Dartmouth College Highway. Power through the toughest cleanups. Whether you're tackling wet leaves, debris, or grass clippings, the Husqvarna 360 BT backpack blower gives you the air speed and fuel efficiency you need to keep going. powered for excellence, built for yarders who don't settle. The Echo DPB 5800T backpack blower delivers the power you need to clear sticks, leaves, debris, and more. Take back your yard with ease with a new backpack blower available locally at Woodsville Power Equipment Tool and Rental.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: periods of sun this morning, thicker clouds this afternoon, showers, maybe a rumble of thunder developing, highs in the 60s. Tonight, rain and showers, some mountain snow, temperatures upper 30s and low 40s, and Saturday, morning showers tapering off, clouds giving way to some increasing afternoon sun, but chilly, highs only in the 50s with a gusty north wind. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
And compliments of your friends at Woodsville Power Equipment with Bobcat Woodsville on the lot and Milwaukee Power Equipment. Be sure to stop in and check it out at 4942 Dartmouth College Highway. We'll be checking out the birthdays and anniversaries. At Legendary Towing, they take control so you don't have to. Breakdown, slide off, accident, no worries. Legendary Towing is on call 24/7 across the Upper Valley and beyond. Their professional drivers know how to take control of any situation safely, calmly, and with confidence. They assist local and state police. If you find yourself in a bad spot, request Legendary Towing. Call 802-222-3828 anytime. They can get you straight to Bradford Auto Works for auto repair or to Legendary Auto Works for collision repair. All right, it is 7:31. A good morning, sitting at 53 degrees. We're checking the Friday, May 29th, 2026 birthdays and anniversaries. Being brought to you by the Swenson Insurance Agency in Bradford. Happy birthday wishes today to Stuart Tatro. With love from Marianne, Tiffany, Samantha, and the whole family. Jonathan Puffer celebrates today, so does Brett Lamont, Debbie Fournier, Casey Kendall, Connor Collins, Abigail Page, and Lois Clay. And there you have it, the birthdays and no anniversaries today. So we'll remind you to get yours into us. We like to see them a couple of days in advance if possible. That way it gives us time to prepare for the day of your birthday or anniversary wish. Again, brought to you by the Swenson Insurance Agency in Bradford. All right, celebrating today, Lois Clay, Abigail Page, Connor Collins, Casey Kendall, Debbie Fournier, Brett Lamont, Jonathan Puffer, and a happy birthday to Stuart Tatro with love from Marianne, Tiffany, Samantha, and the whole family. And there you have it for Friday, May 29th, 2026, the birthdays and no anniversaries today.
In many areas, wild animals are a serious traffic safety concern. Stay safe with these tips. While driving, scan the road and shoulders of the road ahead. Look for yellow road signs warning of high danger areas. Use extra caution when traveling during dawn and dusk. Animals are most active during these times. At night, use high beams if there's no oncoming traffic. Be on the lookout for reflecting eyes. Remember, deer are herd animals. Where there's one, there's usually more nearby. If a collision is unavoidable, apply the brakes and steer straight. Let up on the brakes just before impact, allowing the front of your vehicle to rise slightly, reducing the risk of the animal striking the windshield. Take it from me and MMG, protecting your piece of the world.
The Swenson Insurance Agency of Bradford is a family-owned business that has been serving Vermont and New Hampshire since 1960. Service is their best policy at the Swenson Insurance Agency, Bradford. All right, Mark, what's going on anyway? Crazy weather. It's cold and it's warm, then it rains and it's warm. Now they're saying it could snow in the higher elevations tonight. What's going on?
Yeah, so it's I suppose in some ways, it's New England. It's what we end up dealing with. It's, I think, one of the reasons that I love being a weatherman here. This is one of those, it's an interesting weather pattern, and, well, I think that's fascinating in some ways, but I admit, I mean, it's frustrating because you got outdoor plans. I can say, as much as I think it's interesting, it is a challenge to forecast. You've got all of these different elements that are, kind of switching back and forth, and so trying to time them out, trying to figure out, position-wise where it's going to rain, where it's not, all of that certainly keeps me busy this time of year. In fact, I was looking at some statistics just the other day that, of the entire year, spring has the lowest average in terms of forecast accuracy. So I'm not surprised that things are, a little changeable as far as that goes.
Yeah, some days you have a lot of friends, and some days not so many. Sorry to say. All right, so what's going on with our weather pattern anyway?
Yeah, so all of this, we've actually kind of seen in some fashion or another. We've seen this going on really since, I would say, March. We ended up with, it would be cold most of the time, and then suddenly it would warm up, and you'd have these very changeable sort of conditions, and that continued into April and now into May. I would say that the better part of May, at least impression-wise, we had all kinds of cool, wet weather, and yet we did have that spell, really essentially last week, where it really warmed up a little bit more consistently. We had the temperatures that climbed up into the 80s, but that didn't last. All of a sudden last weekend, boy, the bottom kind of dropped out. We had that chilly, raw day from Memorial Day, and then it warmed up again early this week, but now we're back to this cold stuff. One of the things that's going on is there's actually some cold air in the western U.S., and there's a wedge of warm air between that and what we have that's kind of running from the Canadian prairies down into the northern plains. And this actually is a nice balance as far as the weather is concerned. And it means it's going to stay put for several days. And that's why we're expecting cool and mostly unsettled weather going from this afternoon on through the weekend. Now, there will be episodes where the sun is going to come out, but those 70s and 80s that we've seen, that's not going to be part of this particular pattern. We're going to be stuck in the cool air. And that's actually, it's typical for this time of year. And here's why. There's still ice and snow covering the ground in the Canadian tundra and northward. And so there's a place for cold air to form. It sits over that ice and snow, and it chills off. And so you've got these pockets of cold air that form. And at this time of year, they seem to like to come down toward New England. I think one of the reasons they like that, the air just to the east of us is also chilled thanks to the cold ocean water. So it's one of those, instead of having the cold air having to push into the warm air, which it's going to struggle, it likes to push through New England and join up with the cool air that's sitting over the Atlantic. So I think there's tendency anyway for these pockets of cool air to hang around, well, often into the month of June.
Yeah, is there usually a time of the year, latter part of June, 1st of July at least, when it transitions to warmer weather, more typically?
Yeah, and I would say, based on the museum's averages, once we get into July, and especially the second week of July, then there's this more consistent pattern. In fact, the temperature range is not even all that great the better part of July and most of August. So in other words, a cold day is only going to be 10 degrees below average compared to right now where temperatures tomorrow are going to be at least 20 degrees below average. So we don't tend to see that as we get into the middle of the summer.
Yeah, and of course, last few weeks of spring, we head into the first day of summer, and then noticeably in July, you start seeing less daylight for sure.
Yeah, it's one of those, we just get to that sort of magic time late in June. You get those very long days and short nights, and then it starts changing, going back the other way. But at least the warm air stays here. In fact, we don't peak temperature-wise until the last week of July. That's when we, on the average, have our warmest temperatures.
Kind of short-lived, isn't it?
It is, but, we'll take it. And I think it will seem especially short-lived this year because tomorrow morning, and you had mentioned this, I think we may wake up to looking at, say, Mount Moosilauke covered with some snow. The snow may drop down to about 3,000 feet. So that means even the tops of the the mountains over in Groton State Forest may actually get a little frosting on the top of them tomorrow morning.
So like Mount Washington, how many inches of snow could they possibly get tonight, maybe?
Well, they could get as much as 6 to 10 inches.
Okay.
I think that's, it's pretty unusual this time of year to get that much snow. So I would be hesitant to forecast that much. But I do think they will see more than 4 inches of snow across the presidential range. Even the top of Mount Mansfield over to our west, that might also pick up some 3 or 4 inches of wet snow. It is going to be, in fact, I guess you would say that the White Mountains will live up to their name
There you go.
this weekend.
All right, before we get to the weekend forecast, in regards to the planets, what's going on with those in regards to viewing?
Yeah, so, I've been watching this. Of course, I was on vacation the past week or so and got a chance to see some great clear skies. And so Jupiter and Venus are putting on a great show over in the west. Venus is the brighter and lower of the two. Jupiter up to its upper left. The two of them are going to get closer together now, actually. So Venus is going to kind of stay where it is, but Jupiter is going to shift closer and closer, lower and lower, get next to next to Venus right around the 8th and 9th of June. Meanwhile, Mercury, which we don't see very often, but it is going to sneak into that picture, and you're going to see that, say, from June 5th to the 15th or so. And we'll even throw in the moon there by the 16th of June. So it's going to be quite a display there over in the western skies right on through the middle of June.
Yeah, speaking of the western sky, my wife and myself, I think it was about 9:30 last week, we looked out towards the west, and the moon was right in between a couple of planets. It looked like bookends.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so that was right between Jupiter and Venus.
Okay.
And very cool.
Yep. So check out the night sky. Now let's check out the weekend weather.
Yes, and one of the things that we do is we have some sunshine to start things out. The clouds will thicken up this afternoon. We will see some showers moving in, maybe even a rumble of thunder, which means we could see a brief downpour. And the temperatures will basically climb into the 60s, but when the showers arrive, temperatures will quickly get chilled back down into the 50s. Those rain and showers continue tonight. Again, snow on the mountaintops, upper 30s and low 40s. And tomorrow, the morning showers taper off. Clouds should break for some sun tomorrow afternoon, but don't look for that to warm you up. Temperatures will only be in the 50s along with a gusty north wind. It clears out tomorrow night. It'll be chilly, 30s to near 40. It is possible that a few cold spots may actually see some patchy frost tomorrow night. And then Sunday, early sun, afternoon clouds, a few showers. Not as cool, but not exactly warm. Sunday's highs in the 60s.
All right. So I'm not going to say you'll have a better forecast next Friday when we chat. I'm just going to say maybe you'll have warmer temperatures to report.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Well, enjoy what we have, all right?
That's right.
Talk to you next week.
Okay, very good. Thanks.
Thanks, Mark. Mark Breen, head meteorologist at the Fairbanks Museum. Weekly Conversation brought to you by Hatchland Farm, Wicked Good Dairy Delights, and Profile Meats. As a matter of fact, at Wicked Good Dairy Delights, they're carrying a great selection of Amish-made items. They invite you to stop by and check it out. Do it soon. It is now ice cream season in North Haverhill at Wicked Good Dairy Delights. Their ice cream window opens at 11 every day with a full menu of cones, dishes, shakes, soft and hard serve ice cream, sundaes, toppings, and their famous ice cream flights. Cash and gift cards only at the ice cream window. For your convenience, an ATM is available inside the store. Wicked Good Dairy Delights is located on Route 10 in North Haverhill. For spring hours, daily specials, and announcements, visit the Hatchland Farm Facebook page. Ted Cooper is standing by. We'll be chatting with him. He's, of course, at Wells River Chevrolet. He gives us his bi-weekly update. Hey, as long as we're hanging around Wells River, let's head across the street to Tuttle's Family Diner and see what they're serving up today in regards to their specials. Their soup is minestrone, by the way. And the haddock sandwich with chips and pickle is available today. How about chipped beef over mashed potato or toast along with a side? They also have Roby Farm bacon cheeseburger with french fries or tater tots. And how about a seafood dinner? Haddock, scallops, strip clams are the choices. And those seafood dinners come with a choice of potato, a side, and a roll. Tuttle's Family Diner at 757-3333 right here in downtown Wells River. All right, we'll check out the weather, and then we'll be talking with Ted at Wells River Chevrolet. Compliments of Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. They are bringing you the weather forecast, and you can visit them online at barharbor.bank. It's award-winning banking every day across northern New England. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Bar Harbor Bank and Trust helps businesses succeed. We're proud to be recognized by Forbes and Newsweek as one of America's best banks multiple years running. We can help you get the financing you need quickly and improve your cash flow. With over 50 branches and 90 ATMs across northern New England, we make managing your business easier. Whether your business is growing, expanding, or evolving, we can make it happen together. Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Good things happen when we work together. Member FDIC.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: periods of sun this morning, thicker clouds this afternoon, showers, maybe a rumble of thunder developing, highs in the 60s. Tonight, rain and showers, some mountain snow, temperatures upper 30s and low 40s, and Saturday, morning showers tapering off, clouds giving way to some increasing afternoon sun, but chilly, highs only in the 50s with a gusty north wind. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
And there you have it. Compliments of Bar Harbor Bank and Trust. Visit them online at barharbor.bank. Award-winning banking every day across northern New England. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. All right, 746, 53 degrees. Ted, how you doing this morning?
Well, I'm doing fine now. Let's see. We had the wood stove going last night. Looks like it'll probably be going again tonight. And what was it? Night before last, we had the AC on. Yeah. So, yeah, what can we say?
Yeah, Mark just had his explanation, but that's a tough one for those guys. Yeah.
Now, it sounds like we're going to get some beneficial rain, so we can't complain about that. That's a good thing.
So true. Yeah.
Hey, a couple of things before we start talking about cars, just a message from our friends over at Above the Notch Humane Society. Remember when you were walking your dog, especially on pavement, that pavement can get up to 150 degrees on a sunny day. And if you wouldn't be walking on that in bare feet, your dog shouldn't be either. So please keep that in mind. And the other thing is, my goodness, what a terrible tick year we seem to be having. So you got to check your pets and check yourself frequently. Get some tick tape. You can get that at most hardware stores, tapped around the cuff of your pants and socks. We've been pulling, multiple ticks off per day. And some of them ain't friendly. They carry some pretty nasty diseases. So please keep a lookout. And if you get a tick bite and it gets inflamed and so forth, go to your doc or urgent care or whatever, and you'll probably have to get on to some antibiotics. So nothing to fool around with.
That's for sure.
Anyway, oh my gosh, it's the end of May. How did that happen?
In a hurry.
My
boy.
God.
Yeah.
Well, as we wrap up the month, we've had a great and very busy month. Our inventory seems to fluctuate greatly because most of our new stuff is kind of going out as fast as it's coming in. But through tomorrow, we still have the $1,000 military veterans appreciation bonus discount on most new Chevy models. So everyone we have in stock, in fact. So keep that in mind. We are very grateful for our friends who have served or are serving. And, the usual military discount is $500. This month it's $1,000. That's real money. What else we got? Yeah, well, right now we've got 2.9% financing from GM Financial for 72 months for well-qualified folks on new 26 Silverado half-tons. And in addition, there's an option to defer payments until after Labor Day. So that can be an attractive offer, too. By the way, if you search for any vehicles on our WellsRiverChevy.com website, you will see our fully transparent pricing. That's very important. Fees are fully disclosed. We have an administration fee we add to every vehicle, but there are no hidden fees. Everything's right out in the open. Obviously, tax, title, and registration are not listed on the website as pricing because that varies by state. Obviously, we do not charge Vermont sales tax to New Hampshire residents or new or used vehicles ever. So anyway, stuff has been selling fast. Our goal is obviously to give you, if you're looking for something, to give you several scenarios as to final price and payment once we land on a particular vehicle. And I like to think that we're actual partners in helping to reach a good decision for you, because that creates a happy customer, and that's what helps us. That's what makes us partners. So, no pressure, just good options. And I'd like to mention that you can see the full lineup of new and pre-owned vehicles right on our website, or because sometimes things aren't showing up, we've got almost 70 new Chevys inbound or on order. Give a call with what you're looking for, your specifics, options, packages, the specific model, colors, they're important. And very good possibility we can pair you up with exactly what you're looking for. And a lot of those things do not show up yet online if they're on order or inbound. So it's really worth making a call. And we can put your name on one. It's, no obligation. Basically, it's a first come, first serve. We put your name on something that's coming in. We do not ask for money up front. And when it comes in, we then appraise your trade if you have one, and give you a good firm quote, and then you have the first right of refusal on it. So it makes it quite simple. So as I say, stuff has been selling about as fast as it comes in. So don't be discouraged if you don't see what you're looking for either on our lot or on our website. Meanwhile, we got some good stuff here. We got nice Traverses. We got Tahoes. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, my gosh.
Wow.
3 of them. Yeah, and some real nice used stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Just took a couple of really nice used trucks in, including very popular 21 Toyota Tundra with the 5.7 V8, and it's only got 69,000 miles on it. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a couple of really nice 2500 crew cab customs, both of which have got very decent miles, well priced. And we got a couple of nice Equinoxes. We got a couple of Colorados. We got a couple of half tons. So, let us know what you're looking for, and let us go to work for you.
Definitely.
Simple as that.
What are the hours for sales?
We are, there's no rest for the wicked.
Okay.
As you know, we're here.
Awesome.
We're 8 to 6 Monday to Friday and 9 to 3 on Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
Service is open. Basically, they get in around 7:30 in the morning on Mondays, Monday through Friday, and they're here till around 5.
Excellent.
So let us know. Also, our parts department's got a great special going on tires. So give them a call out there too. They've got basically you buy 3, you get 1 for $1, and it's a pretty good deal. So let us know what we can do to help.
Excellent. At Wells River Chevrolet, Ted Cooper is the senior sales and leasing professional. Stop and say hey to him as well as his other sales team. Ted, enjoy the weekend.
And you as well.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Ted Cooper checks in every couple of weeks. Wells River Chevrolet. Thank you very much, Ted. We're moments away from updating you on the weather forecast. It's 7:54, 53 degrees. Meanwhile, we'll be coming out of the 8 o'clock hour with a look at the weather and then a conversation with Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank, with Lorenzo Wilhite and Mike Simpson. We look forward to the final Friday of the month update from Wells River Savings Bank. But right now, we're taking another look at the weather forecast, this time being brought to you by Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care in Woodsville. They're online at rickerfh.com or give them a call at 603-747-2717. Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care of Woodsville is a family-operated funeral home. Since the 1900s, they treat each family they serve as unique and special. Many elements go into creating a ceremony befitting the special life of your loved one. From music to the graveside service, the licensed funeral professionals at Ricker Funeral Home will navigate you every step of the way. They are available to help you plan a meaningful ceremony that will help your loved ones bridge the gap between life before and life after. For more information, visit their website at rickerfh.com.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: periods of sun this morning, thicker clouds this afternoon, showers, maybe a rumble of thunder developing, highs in the 60s. Tonight, rain and showers, some mountain snow, temperatures upper 30s and low 40s, and Saturday, morning showers tapering off, clouds giving way to some increasing afternoon sun but chilly, highs only in the 50s with a gusty north wind. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Thank you, Mark. Right now, it's sunny, mostly sunny, with temperatures pushing the mid-50s, mid to upper 60s, but as Mark said, some rain and snow in the higher elevations in the forecast. 7:57, updated weather brought to you by Ricker Funeral Home and Cremation Care in Woodsville. Online at rickerfh.com and available at 603-747-2717.
Patriots OTAs continue in Foxborough. Drake May added in front of the microphone yesterday, still looking back at that lost possible championship.
I think you definitely take a peek at it, on the biggest stage and a big game that I had a lot of plays I wish I had back. I think, I definitely watched it. And, at such a young point in my career where, I can still learn so much, and definitely some parts that maybe throws that I maybe skip, or I don't want to watch that again, but there's definitely the game. I think you learn so much from just, mistakes that you make yourself.
May won't have to wait very long to rebound from recent Super Bowl talk. The Patriots' first regular season game is in Seattle.
Get some extra motivation during training camp. But starting off with a bang, like that, a chance to get an opponent that, left a bad taste in our mouth. Week one, on the road in a tough environment, with their, they're going to be hanging their banner, and that's the part of it. So I think it's going to be interesting, it's going to be fun, it's going to be a tough task.
Patriots quarterback Drake May, September 9th, Patriots in Seattle.
All right, boy, talking about football already. Gee whiz, just around the corner already. We haven't even gotten out of basketball and hockey and all that stuff yet, have we? You would know. 2 minutes after 8 o'clock here at Your Country, WYKR Haverhill, WTWN Wells River, W286DE Wells River, 105.1 FM. Now we're legal. That's called the legal ID.
That was impressive.
Thank
That's
you very
good.
much. That's all there. How are you guys?
We're doing good.
Awesome.
Good. How about you?
Good. Final Friday of the month. That means we get an update from Wells River Savings, Good Neighbor Bank. Lorenzo Wilhite, President and CEO, and of course Mike Simpson, who is
Vice President of Human Resources.
Excellent. Been there
almost 4 years.
And how about you?
Celebrated 19 years this year.
Awesome. Good for you.
So, yeah.
Longevity is huge at Wells River Savings Bank. A lot of people have been there, 30, 40 years over there?
We've got some real long-term employees, and so it has been. We've had some shift, as we've talked in here before, that we've got some new employees that have come on to kind of help us out with some things. But we definitely we're proud of the longevity.
Before we get into the meat of the matter, what happens today?
So today we have the kickoff of our Customer Appreciation Days down in Bradford.
Sure.
So please, if people, and we say customer appreciation, but realistically, they're community appreciation for us, because it's our communities, whether they bank with us or not, it's our communities that we want to thrive and that we want people, to be a part of, and we appreciate being a part of it and being able to do the things that we can do. So it's really just a celebration to thank everybody. So we'll be serving hot dogs from 11 to 2 in Bradford. So.
And that will continue throughout the month.
It does. So we start today in Bradford. Next week we will be at the Thetford office. And then on the 12th, we're at the Fairleigh branch. And then this year, a little different, we'll be doing Wells River on Thursday, June 18th, because that Friday is Juneteenth holiday and the bank is closed. Yeah. So everybody's got to remember, this time it's going to be on a Thursday, and I believe we'll be doing the live remote then also, to hopefully get people realizing it's just a little different in the day.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we always finish it off with Newberry branch, which will be on the 26th.
Yeah. Busy month. Then we head into the 4th of July and fair season.
Fairs, parades and fairs, and it gets busy and it goes by quick, unfortunately.
It does. All right. Mike, good morning.
Hello, how are you doing?
Good. All right. So your update includes what today?
Really just want to give an update on openings. We have 2 teller positions open. One is a full-time opportunity at our Wells River branch. The salary range, actually for both these teller positions, is $18 to $20 an hour, depending on experience. The teller position, the full-time one at Wells River, is 8 to 5, has a full gamut of benefits, a lot of holidays off, good working environment, good way of getting your foot in the door in banking. And we have a lot of folks at the bank that started off as tellers, and now we're CEOs and VPs and whatnot. But we also have a different opportunity, a part-time teller opportunity in Bradford, which is only 24 hours a week. And that's relatively new the past couple of years, but it gives us someone that maybe not ready to retire or someone who wants to work part-time or whatever their needs are. We have that part-time position. It'd be primarily based out of Bradford branch. It's called a float position.
Okay.
So basically, they would pretty much 90% of the time be in Bradford, but because of the needs of that position, they might have to go to Thetford or Fairleigh. But it's 24 hours a week. The nice thing about that, 24 hours a week, you're eligible for all the same benefits of me and any other full-time employee.
Any prerequisites, any of that type of stuff?
You have to be either a high school graduate or equivalency. Again, the salary range for that position is between 18 and 20 an hour based on experience. Previous customer experience is preferred, but we've hired folks with experience. We've hired folks with no experience. It's really taking care of the customers and having those skills are important.
So this is full and part-time that you've got?
Two different opportunities,
Right.
yep.
So how does it work summertime with high school and college students that are here for a short time?
Yeah, we do have a student teller program.
You do?
That one pays the Vermont minimum wage, which is I think like $14.42, I believe. I should know that off the top of my head.
Great opportunity for students, though.
Yeah, we have numerous students that right now we have 6 total. And I think we definitely have an opportunity for 1 or 2 more for the summer or year long. And essentially we'd be working. For that one, you have to be enrolled either in high school or college or in trade school, and you have to be at least 16.
For interested people that might be listening, they want to check this out, how do they do so?
To apply online to one of our permanent positions, the part-time or full-time, they should go to our website, our careers page at wellsriversavings.com. That would be the easy way. You can apply in a minute, literally 1 minute. It's very easy. If a student was interested in a student teller position, they should just email hr@wrsb.com.
That's easy.
That's easy enough.
All right. Mike will take care of it from there.
You bet.
All right, Mike Simpson's with us along with Lorenzo Wilhite, Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. Last Friday of the month, we get an update. That was a quick month.
Yeah,
June will
it
be
seems
a
like
quick
time.
month.
It does. It's hard to believe we're moving into June, and just to add a little bit more to what Mike was saying. Talking about the entry level teller positions, and what we hope is someone that might have an interest also. That kind of gives you that exposure, and I think that's what we've always used that student teller piece for, was to give someone kind of that business exposure and see what's going on behind the scenes and see if there's an interest, and it's just been something we have done for years. I mean, as long as I've been here, and we've had a lot of people go through the program, and a lot of them become permanent employees over time. So it's a great way to get some exposure too.
Yeah, Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank. A little bit more in regards to the barbecues this month. Do you still do meals on the go? We're stuff up by.
Yep.
You used to anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. So really, we kind of changed that kind of after COVID.
That's right.
So now they get put into a container, and it's easy for someone to grab them and take them. We want you to sit around and visit, and we love that piece too. But a lot of people, sometimes it works better just to be able to come and grab a bag of chips, a drink, and a hot dog, and then they can go on. But it's a fun day because we get to see people at a different, you're not there really for a business talk or anything like that. It's just to be able to socialize, and so many of our customers are our friends, and it's a nice day.
Anything else you wanted to bring up in regard to May as we head into June and the summer months ahead? And
not a whole lot. Just things are busy.
Yeah.
We continue to and every time we come here and speak to you, we're always going to be able to bring up the piece on fraud and say, please stay alert. We continue to see a lot of that coming through, and it's just coming at us from so many different angles, and AI continues to make that a little bit more challenging. Also, AI is good for helping to find it, so it's a combination of things, but the fraud is still something that we just want people to stay alert to. And again, if you're being asked for something that just doesn't sound right, call your local branch and talk to us.
And any words of advice in regards to loans, heading that time of the year, ATVs, boats, summer homes, all that stuff?
You name it, we've got it. If you're looking for a consumer loan, like you said, an ATV, if you're looking for an automobile like that, then give a call and talk to Irene. Truthfully, I can tell you, she's one of the best. She will take the time. She will talk through with you which way to go, how we can figure it, how we can structure it. the commercial side right now, you know, things are hopping. You know, the weather's getting better. People are able to get out there and start doing some of the things they want to do, or some of the stuff they put off for the winter they're now doing now. And it's like, you know, come in. We've got, you know, we have John, Crystal, Brian. They're there to be helpful, and you know, I think you continue to hear us say that we're that community bank, and that's what we want. You know, stop in, talk to us, or have us come out and look at your project. We're there to do it. And again, Chelsea and Roxanne on the residential side, there's you know, there seems to be more houses on the market than there had been. The problem is we still have a lot of elevated costs. But there's other programs to help those first-time home buyers get in. And best way to know that is to come in, talk about it, kind of look at a pre-approval so that you know then when you're looking, say, what am I looking at that's within my range? And even if I thought it was in my range, once we sit down and calculate, hey, this is where your payment would be, look at your taxes and insurance, all that comes into play. And that really that conversation can be so beneficial to help you begin looking in the right area, or to see, is there a program I qualify for that could give me some assistance with that down payment?
Yeah, there's opportunities.
There is.
That people don't realize exist.
Definitely.
I guess.
Yep.
Yeah,
yep,
awesome.
Definitely.
And they can stop in any one of the branches?
Any one of the branches.
Or call the call center?
Yep, or call the call center. They can call the call center. They can stop in any of the branches. Absolutely.
Any final words from you, Mike?
No, just, you know, we have some openings. Feel free to apply online or, you know, through our website, and have a good summer.
Yeah, good to see you, Mike.
Likewise.
Thank you, Lorenzo.
No, just have a good. We've got some sunlight now.
Yeah,
so
we do. We'll take
hopefully
it.
It holds at least till 2.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, take care.
That's the final Friday of the month. We get an update from Wells River Savings, your good neighbor bank, Mike Simpson and Lorenzo Wilhite. Protect the things that matter with the help of Alarmco, a security and protection company based in Bradford. Manage your lights and temperature settings with automated schedules. Create easy rules to have an added layer of smart automation based on system activity. Unlike traditional systems that only alert you in an alarm event, Alarmco lets you know what's happening at your property at any time. It's easy to set your own alerts and reminders to be notified of any activity you care about. For a free no-obligation quote and see what Alarmco can do for you, visit their website at alarmcovt.com.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: periods of sun this morning, thicker clouds this afternoon, showers, maybe a rumble of thunder developing, highs in the 60s. Tonight, rain and showers, some mountain snow, temperatures upper 30s and low 40s, and Saturday, morning showers tapering off, clouds giving way to some increasing afternoon sun but chilly, highs only in the 50s with a gusty north wind. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Once a month, we get together with Todd Holt, the local physical therapist, with his beautiful office on Maple Street in downtown Wells River. It has a ring to it. Your beautiful office in Maple Street. It's like Mayberry RFD or something, Todd, right?
And it's next to Big Cone, so that's
there you go.
Good and bad.
Haven't seen you there enough.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, who have you got with you today?
So I've got Sri Sandberg, who also works at the office, does physical therapy there. And today we're going to talk about pelvic health, women's wellness. Sri's got a certification in women's health and urinary incontinence, actually.
Okay.
You know, it's pretty common that patients come into physical therapy with SI joint dysfunctions. By the way, SI joint is your lower back, sacroiliac joint. And I'm trying not to talk too fast on the radio.
No, you're doing fine.
Because I've heard myself and go, man, what was he saying? He just said that too fast.
You're doing good.
But yeah, Sri's got a certification in women's health and urinary incontinence. And she's doing a great job with patients. Yeah. And it's not just women, by the way. Men have problems with urinary incontinence as well.
Yeah, we think about physical therapy as, you know, you got a bruised muscle or, you know, a torn ligament or something like that. We've never had this as part of our conversation before, I don't think.
Merrill did once.
Okay.
And he said, now I've officially talked about everything on the radio.
Okay, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
All right, because we do this periodically. Anyway, it's good to have you with us, and also with Sri. So who's going to go first with the explanation?
Well, okay.
What do you want to start with?
Sometimes we start with SI joint dysfunctions in the clinic where they have problems with their sacroiliac joint being out of alignment. And a lot of times that has to do with instability issues, which also indirectly has a lot to do with the pelvic pain and urinary incontinence. So Sri can talk about that.
So if something's out of alignment, you can have incontinence?
So if something's out of alignment, we're often working on their strength and pelvic floor strength. If the muscles in your floor of your pelvis are weak, they can cause sacroiliac dysfunctions. By the way, when you talk about pelvic floor, it's like a sling of muscles that holds all our abdominal viscera up, your organs, bladder, and that's the problem, actually. The bladder sinks down.
Right. She's a professional in it. We'll have her explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of times we'll have people come in with low back pain or SI joint dysfunction, and they might not necessarily be coming in for pelvic floor health, but I find that a lot of times I end up incorporating that into their treatment program because, like Todd said, there's like a muscle sling inside the pelvis that actually stabilizes a lot of the pelvic bones in place. So what we see a lot of is that when there's instability in the pelvic unit, a lot of people are like, oh, well, we need, to do more core stuff, or my back hurts, this and that. And a lot of times people will focus on that glute strengthening, which is the external stabilizers, which is very important. But also we need to focus on some of that internal stabilizers as well. So a lot of times when people are having pain in the SI joint or the low back, they might not tell you, but they might also be having some pelvic floor incontinence issues and some dribbling when they're exercises or having a hard time holding it and getting to the bathroom in time. So what a lot of people don't understand is that the glutes, when they're weak, actually, they don't do their job. They don't hold the bones in place. And we have a lot of movement that's happening in that sacroiliac joint, which also then the sacrum then connects to the lower back. So they might feel it in both of those areas. And then what happens is when that's not working, you have the pelvic floor that then starts doing the job for the glutes, and then it's not able to do its job anymore. So we'll use a lot of treatments to focus on the pelvic floor, the transverse abdominis, and the glute muscles.
Is there an age group where this usually starts, or it can happen anywhere?
It can happen throughout anybody's life.
Okay.
It can. It's pretty common that for women to see it after they've had delivery and given childbirth. There's a laxity of the joints that happens, but it can also happen to children who just have weakness. They're not very active, might have some obesity going on. And then it can also happen with adult males who might be hitting the gym too much and not lifting properly, and then they are not breathing properly, and then they blow out their pelvic floor and are too embarrassed to say, oh, something's going on here.
Never heard of it from
that Valsalva
angle.
maneuver when you're bearing down real forcefully.
Okay.
And sometimes that'll stretch out the pelvic floor.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. Like I said, we haven't had this conversation. We've talked about a lot of stuff in the past, Todd, but this is new to us. Exercises, then, what do you recommend?
So,
are they different from men, women, and children?
I usually,
or does it depend?
Well, I will kind of like hone in on the treatments per person, especially if it's a female who's going through hormone changes that can change, the laxity of her joints. So we will kind of graze on that. Diet can have a role to play in incontinence as well.
Okay. Whether they're children or not, maybe?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So if somebody's having an allergic reaction to what they're taking in, they'll have an inflammatory response, and then that'll lead into some irritation in the pelvic floor, which could lead to leakage as well.
So there's a lot to this.
There is, yeah.
Diet?
Yes, not just exercise, diet.
There's diet, hormones. But usually our treatment will start with some deep breathing exercises to really make sure that people are focusing on breathing correctly when they are lifting weights and when they are going through their day-to-day activities, and not accidentally blowing out their pelvic floor by sucking in, holding in their air, and then squeezing all of their core muscles at the same time and blowing out, those base muscles.
Sure. And I think at the beginning of the conversation, you said sometimes patients are a little embarrassed.
Oh, absolutely.
This is going on. So they don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Right? Because you just brought some important information to our listeners that we really hadn't heard in a long time, or this may be the first time that we've heard it. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, they definitely, patients sometimes don't want to disclose, and they may be embarrassed about it, even though it's very common.
Well, you are professionals at your office. Todd Holt, right here in downtown Wells River, physical therapist, have been there at your new location. How many years now, Todd?
Oh, geez. Well, I think we bought it in 2001. Yeah, kind of the middle of the whole COVID thing.
Yeah, beautiful right here in downtown Wells River, right on Maple Street, basically across from the post, kind of the post
fire
office,
station,
fire station,
and big cones to the left of us.
How long have you been there, Sheree? And how long have you been in this profession?
I've been with Todd my entire PTA career,
okay.
And so I started in May of 2021, so it's about 5 years. Before that, I did a lot in different hospitals and healthcare settings, and did some restorative nursing over at Woodridge, CBMC, where I kind of was a bridge between physical therapy and nursing.
So what would you say for our listeners to get over the embarrassment part? Because if they do have something going on, where should they start? With their primary and go to you guys?
They want to talk, they can talk to their primary. They can always call, and they can talk to Shri. They could talk to me as well, but I'd probably refer them to Shri because Shri is the specialist in the pelvic floor program.
Okay.
It's nothing to be embarrassed about because it's incredibly common, and it's not just women, it's men too. So, and it's even weightlifters, as Shri said.
And for our listeners, you guys have your technological word for it, but for our listeners, what would you call it? Incontinence?
Yeah, incontinence. Yeah, and it can be bowel or urine.
Urinary leakage, anything like that, dribbling. There's actually a term that's actually a medical term. It's called peasing, which is when you actually pee and sneeze at the same time.
Okay.
So you can cut that out if you
No,
want.
And I think everybody's probably done that.
That's so true. Hey, we're humans and things happen, right?
Yep. And usually when people do come in for their back pain, I might just kind of like sneak in the exercises with the maybe a sneaking suspicion that this might be going on and not tell them what they're doing too. And all of a sudden you might see some progress and not know why.
Interesting. All right. Office hours.
Yeah, so we're there basically 8 till 5, sometimes 7 to 6, but not usually.
Okay. 802-757.
8000.
All right. Todd Holt and Shri from Todd Holt Physical Therapist right here in downtown Wells River.
Great. Thanks, Steve.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
It's about 22 after 8. Standing by, Greg Hodge at Valley Floors in Bradford. But first, we're going to take a look at the weather for the listening area. Compliments of PTO's Repair, your local Fisher authorized dealer, now at 2320 Route 5 in Fairleigh.
PTOs want you to know we are your local factory authorized Fisher plow dealer. We sell, install, and service all Fisher plows and sanders. We have over 20 years of experience in factory training. Make PTO's Repair your first stop for all your Fisher plow needs. PTO's Repair, 2320 Route 5 Fairleigh, or at ptosrepair.com. I'm PTO, and I wanted you to know.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: periods of sun this morning, thicker clouds this afternoon, showers, maybe a rumble of thunder developing, highs in the 60s. Tonight, rain and showers, some mountain snow, temperatures upper 30s and low 40s, and Saturday, morning showers tapering off, clouds giving way to some increasing afternoon sun but chilly, highs only in the 50s with a gusty north wind. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
All right, thank you very much. It's in the mid-50s, heading for the mid-60s, but yeah, a little rain is in the forecast. Compliments of PTO's Repair at 2320 Route 5 in Fairleigh, local Fisher authorized dealer, Fisher Plows and Fisher Sanders. Greg, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, Steve, and yourself?
Good, there you go. Hanging on there. Called Greg a 3 minutes ago, listening to the weather forecast, and it's been a crazy ride the last few weeks in regard to weather, hasn't it?
It's been a crazy ride, yes. The sun shines, and then it rains.
Oh, boy. So I'll bet you can help out with your Hunter Douglas, your Graber, and your Norman shades, can't you?
I absolutely can, yeah. I've got all kinds of I got a nice display here in the shop that anytime somebody wants to come in and have a look, they certainly can do that, and I'll chat with them.
Yeah, how important are they as we head into the months where we are supposed to have more sunshine?
Oh, they're a lot more important than I think people realize.
Sure.
They protect your furniture, they protect your floor. You know, if you've got a rug down and you pull that rug up to do something, you'll see what the sun has done to the floor. It changes the color but they're important, and you know, and for heat loss and sun, and they're important, I think.
Mm-hmm. And privacy
as well. You know, we've got a whole lot of options. We've got shades that you look in, you can't see out at all. We've got other shades that you can stand in and you can look out and you can see the world, and people can't see you inside.
Mm-hmm. Now, as we know it, us older people from the old days of shades when held all these strings and stuff hanging all over the place. What's the deal with yours?
Well, you still might get those a little bit, but most of your shade companies have gotten away with the cords altogether because, as we all know that they wrap around young children's necks and that sort of thing, and it's just for safety reasons or not. So people mostly are doing cordless. Sometimes you have to do a cord depending on how big the shade is, and they're doing a lot of power view, a lot of power view right now.
I don't know if I've ever asked you this before, it comes to mind, but as the sun changes during the year, do any of these have an eye that follows the sun so that they will close and open according to the light?
With power view shades, you can set them to open and close any time of the day. They have favorites. If the sun comes up in the morning in a certain place, they'll come down and then they'll go back up. Yeah, it's the technology is quite amazing.
And if you've got shades here in New England, but you're sitting on a beach in Hawaii, so to speak, you can control them?
You can control them right off your phone.
No kidding. Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's really, as long as there's internet service and you've got service on your phone, you can put your shades up and down if you're in Hawaii and you have a house in Vermont someplace.
Yeah. I know you have a busy day, Greg. In regards to this time of the year, how important your Hunter Douglas, your Graber, and your Norman shades are, they can stop in or make an appointment to go over the entire complex of these, right?
Anytime. We've got a great display, and we have other things in the store as well. We have a lot of flooring and ceramic tile, and got a great sales staff. But I've got a nice display, and kind of sit and talk with people and go over things, over their options that they want to do.
Yeah, as the name implies, Valley Floors, right there in Bradford.
Absolutely.
Greg, enjoy the weekend. A lot of great information when we chat with you.
You as well, Steve. Thank you so much.
All right, have a great day. Thank you much.
Bye-bye.
There you go. That's Greg representing everybody at Valley Floors. Some important reminders in regards to their Graber, their Hunter Douglas, and also their Norman shades, professionally installed by Valley Floors and Greg. So give them a call, 222-9611, and line up your appointment. We're moments away from a conversation I had yesterday with Cottage Hospital. But first, right here in downtown Wells River, stop by Tuttle's Family Diner and enjoy one of these specials today, or maybe a couple. They're serving the haddock sandwich with chips and pickle, chipped beef over mashed potato or toast, along with a side. They have the Roby Farm Bacon Cheeseburger. It's available with French fries or tater tots. Their soup is minestrone, and they're serving seafood dinners. They include haddock, scallops, strip clams, your choice. And those seafood dinners come with your choice of potato and a side and a roll. 757-3333. You can enjoy these specials, or you can order from the regular menu when you stop by Tuttle's Family Diner right here in downtown Wells River. All right, right before we listen to the conversation I had with Cottage Hospital yesterday, we'll take another look at the weather. It's being brought to you by Housewright Construction, which is located at Route 5 near the historic Newbury Common. How do you define home? Is it your sanctuary? A reflection of your style and values? A playground for your children and grandchildren? However you define it, Housewright Construction can help you create the house that says, welcome home to you. Housewright is your expert Vermont and New Hampshire home builder. They have been partnering with clients since 1985. They build and renovate homes that fulfill their clients' exact visions. Housewright Construction is proud to be able to say that the foundation of their business continues to be their enduring relationships with clients, who return to them as their home visions grow and who refer them to their friends. Try letting Housewright be the builder of the home of your dreams. Welcome home with Housewright. Housewright Construction, Main Street South, Newbury, Vermont. Online at housewright.net.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: periods of sun this morning, thicker clouds this afternoon, showers, maybe a rumble of thunder developing, highs in the 60s. Tonight, rain and showers, some mountain snow, temperatures upper 30s and low 40s, and Saturday, morning showers tapering off, clouds giving way to some increasing afternoon sun, but chilly, highs only in the 50s with a gusty north wind. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Clear blue sunny skies from our vantage point, 55, heading for the mid-60s. That's the weekend weather, brought to you by House Right Construction, located at Route 5 near the historic Newbury Common, also online at houseright.net. It's time for another edition of Cottage on Call, where we get together with representatives from Cottage Hospital and also Ray of Hope, which is across the street from it, and Kuba Kubkowski, who
That's
is
me.
Community Relations Director?
Sure.
Kinda.
Manager. I do all the things without the official title.
Of course you do.
Yes. How are you, Stephen?
Good. Kuba is always so energetic.
You have to bring your A game when you come on here.
Yeah.
When you're speaking with you, you've done this for so long. It brings the best out in me. So I try to get a little extra coffee in before, so
Good for you.
I don't make it boring for the listeners.
You like coffee?
Yeah, I usually make it at home. I'm very particular. I grind my own beans and I press it myself.
Yes.
The K-Cups, if I need to, it's okay, but it's not the same.
Much more natural, huh?
Yes.
All right. Mavis Kramer is with us, Director of Ray of Hope. Thank you for getting Mavis in
I'm
today.
thankful that she was able to come on. I'm sure people who know, and I know you know, sometimes it can be difficult in the world of healthcare to get schedules to line up, make sure that everybody can come on. So I've been trying to have a few people who are able to come on, so I appreciate her with not a whole ton of notice, be willing to come on here. And being the new director of the Ray of Hope, I figured this would be a great opportunity for her to introduce herself to the community.
Yeah, definitely.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, and then especially because a lot of people don't know what the Ray of Hope is. This is a question that we've been getting a lot. I figured two birds, one stone.
Sure.
New director, let's talk about the facility. It's been around for 10 years, and I figured it's time to give an update and let people know what it's all about.
Yeah. Beautiful campus across the street from Cottage Hospital. Mavis, thank you.
Great to be here.
How are you today?
Doing wonderfully.
All right. A little bit about yourself and how you got here into Woodsville and also Director of Ray of Hope all of a sudden.
Yeah. I actually started in a small rural hospital, my nursing career, but then I moved to some big systems. I was with Cleveland Clinic Health System for 15 years and then some other ones. And throughout my time, most of it I spent in critical care, neuro integrated care units, managing those. And one of the things that really disturbed me throughout my career caring for these patients was that when it came time for them to discharge, we had somewhere that would do rehabilitation for their physical parts. But a lot of those neurological conditions, like stroke or traumatic brain injury, they have corresponding behavioral and mental health aspects.
Okay.
There was nowhere for them to go. There were very few places that would even address those issues, and it was always something that really bothered me. And when I was looking for a change, I read about Ray of Hope when I was reading about Cottage Hospital, and I was really excited to see this program. It's a very underserved part of the population, our geropsychiatric population, and this is one of very few programs in the state and even across the country. So it's a very exciting program, and I was really interested in learning more about it and potentially becoming part of it.
Yeah, from some of our prior conversations, it's full most of the time, isn't it? And people come from a long ways away to be part of the program
We
there?
have patients from Massachusetts, Maine, Vermont, all over the place. Yes.
All right. So you kind of explained how you came to be the director at Ray of Hope in our conversation right there. All right. So do you wear two hats there besides being director then?
I also have stepped into the role of over the emergency management as far as making sure that we're prepared for any emergencies. So I work closely with our director of MedSurg ED, and then we're going to be bringing in and collaborating with like our EMS and police and fire to make sure the hospital is ready for any emergency that could happen in the community.
All right. Yeah, as we said beginning of the conversation, beautiful campus across from Cottage Hospital, Ray of Hope. So Kuba also brought it up. So maybe both of you, especially maybe you can kind of explain what Ray of Hope is.
Okay.
I'll defer to Mavis. Not that I don't know, but I figured it'd be better to come from her. And I hate to be that guy, but I just wanted to clarify the Ray of Hope. It's actually a part of the main campus building, the Rowe Health Center. Same initials, very similar sounding name is what's across the street. So we have like primary care, cardiology across the street, but the Ray of Hope, it's actually right there, right in the middle of the hospital.
And that's what we need to have our listeners
Yeah.
understand. So maybe Mavis can explain a little bit more, because obviously it was an attraction. That's why she's the director there now. Right? Okay.
So Ray of Hope was designed about 10 years ago as an environment for fixing those gaps, filling those gaps in behavioral health services for our older adult population. So a lot of them are experiencing changes in behavioral and neurological health, and they looked at that and thought, here is an opportunity for us to have a very positive impact on the community and on this underserved population.
Okay.
So we are a 10-bed short stay inpatient mental health unit, and we accept patients who are 65 and older.
Right.
Occasionally we'll accept some a few years younger if we really feel like they would be best served by us.
Depending on the situation.
Right.
So this isn't long-term care then?
Correct.
Okay.
Our average length of stay is a little under a month.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of times I know, especially with past people that I've worked with during my time at Cottage, that's one of the biggest things that people misconstrued when they read about it. And what it is, they see that we take geri psych patients, but they think that we're a long-term care facility. And so I figured this would be another great opportunity to make sure to make a distinction between the two and clarify that that's not the case.
Right. The long-term, so we accept patients either from families who have their primary care provider refer to us, or facilities will sometimes send us patients because they're really struggling to manage behaviors. So they'll send them to us. We have an agreement in place that when the patient is stabilized and where they need to be, they go back to that facility.
All right. Maybe a little bit more in depth, the admission process then. How does that work?
So either a family would bring a concern to the primary care physician about their loved one and say, we're just really struggling with the behaviors, or they're really having a severe depression or very agitated, or the facility would reach out through their physician, and they will send us all the information about the patient, and then our team reviews that, goes through and determines, is this something that would be best served by our program? And if so, then we would let them know and set up an admission.
All right, so the patients are evaluated, and maybe a key word there, behaviors. So are there different behaviors that you have to look at for the patient to be admitted?
It can just be something like severe depression, and we have had patients that just come in and they really, their therapeutic regimen is not being very effective, and so they come in so we can manage them more effectively in that intensive inpatient environment. But often what brings them to our door are patients that are having severe wandering, they're getting very agitated, they're not redirectable, or dementia patients that all of those corresponding behaviors are just not very well controlled. A lot of times we get patients that are on what we call polypharmacy, where they've got the 5 pages of medications, and that just generates more and more side effects. So we pare that down, get them on just the ones that will manage the behavior, or more effective ones.
I
guess
guess
they can go back.
I guess we don't want to make our listeners hypersensitive, but if the patient isn't referred by their primary, but we have somebody in the family or a friend that we think has issues, how is that dealt with? Because you have HEPA labs and all that stuff nowadays.
Right. So the very first thing that, the first step any family should take if they're struggling with that is they need to get hold of the patient's primary care provider.
Okay.
And really, there should always be someone managing those behaviors, and that's the first step, because they can make sure that there isn't some physical thing. For example, urinary tract infection can cause symptoms that can mimic dementia. So we want to make sure, have we ruled out all the physical things that can be treated, and then after that's done, then we can determine, is there an additional need that Ray of Hope could.
And you said 65 or older typically, so older adults usually are more susceptible to urinary tract infections too, so you might have that issue. All right, we've kind of gone through the admission process. Now that the patient is admitted, lack of a better word, I guess, right now, what about the services and therapies that they do go through at Ray of Hope? What are those?
We have a multidisciplinary team that really focuses on producing a very holistic environment for the patient. We have a recreational therapist that designs activities that go throughout the day. We have a case manager who is exceptional and works very hard to make sure that when the patient's discharged, we have appropriate supportive services that are lined up for that patient. Even in a facility, making sure that the facility has taken advantage of all those things that could be available for that patient. And then we have a nurse practitioner who is certified psychiatric nurse practitioner who is physically on site. We have a psychiatrist from Dartmouth that is our medical director that also oversees the program and is part of our multidisciplinary team process. And then our nurses and our licensed nursing assistants have training in therapeutic communication to make sure that they're providing that supportive environment.
So there's obviously monitoring and all of
Very
that that's going.
extensively, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
In the state, typically, is how long?
Our average stay is generally less than a month. We do have some patients that, because of how severe they were when they came in, or because we had to take them off several medications and then start some different ones, they can be there much longer. But generally speaking, it's under a month.
This is Cottage on Call. Mavis Kramer, director of Ray of Hope. Brand new director, by the way, just a few months that she's been in that position at Ray of Hope right here in Woodsville. Milestones and improvements. Even though you're new there, you probably have heard some stories and probably already have some milestones and improvements and some stories you'd like to share with us that you've already experienced.
For the patients or the
Both.
program?
I think both.
So for the patients...
There's something probably comes to mind right off the bat.
Too many. On the spot like that.
Yeah. Well, just from what I've personally seen coming there, we have had some patients come in that really were significantly agitated, high fall risk because of their agitation. They were moving constantly, and we've been able to get them stabilized to where the behavior was at least manageable. If a person has dementia, we're not going to be able to eliminate the behaviors, but we can bring them down to a manageable level where the families or the facilities can feel comfortable. And I've seen patients leave that were much calmer, able better to enjoy the activities that they like. And that it's different for me because most of my experience has been in a regular acute hospital. And I just had to send these patients out. Right. And now I get to see, oh, here they are, and we've been able to make this difference and send them back to their families or facilities. And if we can give them that feeling of calm, they're not as depressed, they're not as anxious, and they're able to have some enjoyment in their life. Even with dementia, they can have enjoyment in their life. That is a very rewarding and fulfilling feeling.
Does this fall under insurance?
Yes.
It does?
Yes. Insurance absolutely will pay for
I think that's a
these.
good question. That's probably something a lot of people would call and ask about.
Okay.
Yeah, Medicare is very simple and straightforward. The newer Medicare Advantage programs are not as simple or straightforward.
I know. Yeah.
But they do provide coverage. It just takes a whole lot more steps.
Yeah, insurance can be a struggle for healthcare and also for the patient.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it
Absolutely.
can be. That's another topic another day.
Another time, yeah.
All right, Kuba.
Definitely.
I have a couple
Very
people in
important.
mind who can talk about it.
Very
so
important topic.
I'm working on it.
And our case manager is able to help guide people sometimes, depending on the situation, as far as making sure that we're identifying all the potential ways to get this patient.
So even though you're new, Mavis, what about the future of the Ray of Hope? What are you seeing? Some of the things that...
One thing I'd like to see is, in the past, we've had facilities from other states even come in and look like, hey, this is a program we'd like to model. I would like to really get us out there more, both locally and even nationally, so that other hospitals will look at this and say, this is something we can replicate, because this is not just a local issue.
So there aren't a lot of hospitals doing this, so
There are
Ray of
very
Hope is
few.
kind of a model.
Yes. We have, I remember reading about a hospital even in Florida that came and wanted to be a similar program. And if we could really get that word out there so that not just here, but all across the country, people understand that geriatric population with those behavioral mental health needs, very underserved, and we can make such a difference in their lives with sometimes very small changes. And that would be awesome if we could really be a leader across the nation in that. And really my focus right now is making sure that our local community even knows about it, because we get probably more of our patients from other states than we do from our local area. And I'm hearing that's because our local area doesn't really know much about us. So I want to make sure that word gets out there.
So how many beds is it?
10 beds.
So what if you're at capacity and you have all of a sudden 2 patients that really need the help? What do you do?
Well, fortunately, since we are a short stay unit, we have a much faster turnover. It's not like a nursing home where they're there forever. So that really helps.
Okay. How about our listeners, how you might explain how the listeners might better understand mental health?
I liken mental health to something like diabetes. It's diabetes is if you have it, most likely you're going to have an issue with it your entire life, and you have to manage it, whether it's through your diet, through insulin injections, or oral medications. Mental health is as much a part of our health journey as our bodies are, our physical health. Sometimes it's just a temporary thing. You lose a highly beloved family member and you really struggle with grief for a year or two and just temporarily need something to help you through, whether it's therapy or medication. Other times it's something that is going to be lifelong, the rest of your life, like bipolar disorder. We really need to, as a country, understand that this is just as important and requires just as much money and research as those physical diseases. And there should be no shame in seeking help for a mental disorder than there would be for a physical disorder. And up to, if I remember correctly, it's about 80% of our older adult population, our geriatric population, really struggles with anxiety or depression. And you think about it, they've lost family members and friends, and they've lost their independence, and of course they're going to be depressed. And some things we can do adjustments, get them into a community where they have friends or help them reconnect with family, but other times they really need that medical intervention to help them live their best lives at the end of their lives.
For our listeners too, if they want better understanding of this, they can stop in or make a phone call, or if they have a family member or friend they have concerns about. I know we have these HEPA laws, but it's all right for them to reach out if they have real concerns. How do you handle that?
Are you talking about if we have a patient and the family wants...
No, right now if we have a listener that they have a concern either for a family or a friend that hasn't had any help yet, but they think they need it.
There are a lot of mental health resources online they go to, and we could maybe put some links on our website.
It's one of those things I was going to mention here afterwards. I just wanted to give Mavis the time to go through everything. But especially now that she started and some of these goals that she has for that specific department is to make sure that it gets out there. Now that we have a little bit more time between events, I'd like to also work with her, go through what we have now, update it, include more of those links. So if there is a listener, what are those resources? Just because, as she had mentioned earlier in the conversation, if you want to get admitted or if you have those questions, the first step is to go to the primary care provider for the particular person before they can come to us. There are steps that can be taken before that, and we want to make sure that those resources are available, they're clear, and then, if some other step is needed, where they can call or who they can contact.
We could definitely put some links up there to some of the national organizations that would be helpful.
Well, a lot of great information that Mavis has just provided. Mavis Kramer, who has been our guest director of Ray of Hope, brand new there. Welcome.
Great to be here.
Final comments? We covered a lot of information, but maybe you've got a couple of things that come to mind you'd like to leave our listeners with.
I think a lot of times families really feel alone and discouraged when they're dealing with an older loved one who has dementia or a different type of neurological or behavioral issue. There's help out there. And please don't be discouraged. Talk to your provider. We'll put those links up there for help, and don't give up. Know that there is help out there, and there are ways that you can make sure that your loved one has a much better ending to life that is full of joy, and even if it's just those little things that they can feel pleasure in.
Yep.
We absolutely can help with that. And there are many organizations, including Ray of Hope, that are there to help.
Thank you. Maybe you'll have Mavis come back next year. She'll have a whole year under her belt as
I
director.
hope so.
And a lot of great information.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if before a year we'll have her come on just to give an update with how things are going, especially if we are able to put some of these ideas and practices into place about getting more hospitals to know and recognize what we do and possibly replicate it or want to do it. I think it would be a great opportunity. Yeah.
Speaking of updates.
It's
up to you, Kuba.
Yeah. So, it's been a busy couple of weeks. May seems to be one of those crazy months every year. But for those of you listening, if you didn't know, we held our annual Any Which Way 5K just over a week ago. Or actually, when you listen to this, 2 weeks ago. And oh man, what a turnout. We had a record number of participants. It was a really beautiful day. So it was a great time. We're so thankful to have such a supportive community, not just here locally, but even beyond, with people traveling to come be a part of this event. A huge shout out to all of our wonderful sponsors who helped with the event and helped us to be able to put it together and raise some additional money. So we're waiting to hear back from the participants with things that they'd like to see us do next year. But for those of you listening, if you want to mark that first weekend of May, that is more likely than not the time that we're going to be having next year's 5K as well.
2027.
Yes, 2027. But thank you to everybody who helped out, and it was a really great day. A couple of upcoming updates. As many people know, we have our annual 4th of July parade here through Woodsville and Wells River. 250-year celebration. Wow. So I have to say, I anticipate this is going to be a rather large event. This is the biggest parade, I think, in our area because we have so many towns and communities participate. So I'm really looking forward to seeing everybody come out. So make sure to be there. We'll be going down with our float. I don't want to give anything away, but we have some good ideas, so I'm really looking forward to putting that together. And of course, the summer events, the fair, we're going to be there. As we get closer, we'll share more about that. But overall, we're looking forward to a great year. And if people have questions, if people want to help the hospital out, visit our website or give us a call.
Yeah. Once a month, we have Cottage on Call. It's the last Friday of the month. We take a few minutes and talk with Kuba and his guest. And this time around, it's been Mavis Kramer, director of Ray of Hope. Do you know who next month might be? Or
I have a couple of ideas, but with schedules being as crazy as they are, I don't want to give.
To commit.
Yeah, and then I don't want to make somebody look bad. So
I thought I'd try.
I know.
All right. Thank you very much, Mavis.
Great to be here.
Yeah,
Thank
you. A lot of great information in regards to Ray of Hope and Kuba Kubkowski.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine.
See you next month.
Until next time.
8:55 and 55 degrees under clear blue sunny skies, heading for the mid-60s. Compliments of your friends at Dad's 4x Tool and Supply in St. Johnsbury and downtown Wells River. Take a moment here to check out the weather.
Hi, this is Ben from Dad's 4x Tool and Supply. Today I would like to highlight Ron Young. Ron has been with us for 5 years. He may be one of the senior employees, but don't let that fool you. You may see him out with a shed truck delivering a new shed, or you might see him coming back from PA with a load of equipment. He is always on the move. Call Ron if you need a shed, and he'll be happy to help you get just the right one into just the right spot. Stop by Dad's 4x Tool and Supply to get your propane tank filled, because everyone knows Dad's got gas.
From the Fairbanks Museum in St. Johnsbury, the forecast: Periods of sun this morning, thicker clouds this afternoon, showers, maybe a rumble of thunder developing, highs in the 60s. Tonight, rain and showers, some mountain snow, temperatures upper 30s and low 40s, and Saturday, morning showers tapering off, clouds giving way to some increasing afternoon sun but chilly, highs only in the 50s with a gusty north wind. I'm meteorologist Mark Breen for WYKR.
Hey, Mark, thank you very much. As we update you on the weather, compliments of our many sponsors and the meteorologists at the Fairbanks Museum. This time being brought to you by Dad's 4x Tool and Supply. 2 locations to better serve you. Route 5 in St. Johnsbury. You'll find them right here in downtown Wells River. You'll be amazed at what Dad's 4x Tool and Supply has to offer you. It's 8:59 coming up. We'll be looking at the latest news and information and then back into more great country music. And we thank you for being with us, Stephen, John, and friends, for the last 3 hours, 6 to 9. We hope to be with you next Friday as well as we head into June. We'll be looking at June 5th already. Want to remind you, coming up on June 6th, there's going to be a fishing derby. Ammonoosuc Valley Fishing Game Club, 1463 Wild Ammonoosuc Road, Route 112 in Bath, with their annual Kids Fishing Derby. And that's set for June 6th. Mark your calendars with sign-in happening at about 8 o'clock in the morning. Fishing starts at 9, and then at noon, a free lunch. Compliments of the Ammonoosuc Valley Fishing Game Club. News is next. We hope you enjoy the weekend. Thanks for listening.
Why?